Well, slowdowns are in effect. Northbound 65 up to the South Loop, northbound North Loop, and then eastbound 440 over to 24, and both directions of 65 between Goodlettsville and Millersville. I'm Ken Weaver.
It is heating up in Tennessee politics. It's hot outside as well. Lots of storms moving through the state of Tennessee today, or at least there were earlier, and there may be some a little bit later on. We're going to cover it all for you this afternoon. My name is Matt Murphy. It is a First Amendment Freestyle Friday edition of the Matt Murphy Radio Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Good afternoon. Welcome in. Glad you are with us. Thank you so much for your time. Whatever you're able to give us, whether it's 5 minutes or the full 4 hours, I'm so appreciative of you, your family, your family's family. It's 7 minutes after the hour. Let's get through the pleasantries. We'll introduce you to the players of the show. Young Jackson is already desperately trying to turn the television on. Young Jackson is already, you know what? I leave one day on the table, and all the TVs are out when I come home. Or back to work, as it were. I don't think any of the televisions are working, Jackson.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
It is.
Okay, I think none of the TVs except for News Closet B are working, Jackson.
That's because mine's hooked up to an antenna.
Uh-huh. They think,
I'm
Jackson,
going old school.
back there in that News Closet, they use the old noodle, buddy boy. They use the old noodle. They can figure it out back there. Jackson, do you understand what an antenna is and what it does?
Yes, I had one in my room as a child.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah,
when you were
the local channel.
Little young buck, 2003, 2004, young Jackson watching the Teletubbies, as it were.
I love Saturday morning cartoons.
Did you? What was your favorite?
Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. What was your favorite Power Ranger?
The Red Power Ranger.
Oh, yeah, well, of course, red for power. Georgia red is what I would call that. Very good.
There wasn't an orange Power Ranger because that power is too mighty.
Wait a minute. I thought they called them the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yes, but that power was too mighty for them to handle.
It was too much.
Yes.
They couldn't take it.
It would have vaporized them in an instant.
I miss you when I'm away, Jackson. I just want you to know that.
Do you want to describe the scene you walked up on?
Oh, my gosh.
When you got here today?
Ken, what the hell's going on when I leave for one day
Yeah.
For E's birthday, and then all hell breaks loose. I come back. I get here late. And by the way, Ken, how you doing, buddy? You
How
all right?
about you boys? I'm doing good.
I'm good. Hey, Ken, how much does it cost for people to like and subscribe this radio show on any of the platforms they might watch or listen on?
Absolutely nothing, boys. Yeah.
We hadn't had that one in a while. I kind of like that. I need to bring that back up more often. Yes, absolutely nothing to like, subscribe, wherever you happen to be watching. Let me get these pleasantries. We got TuneIn, Spotify, iHeart. We've got our own app, Supertalk 99.7 WTN. You can go to the radio dial, obviously, 99.7 FM from Alabama to Kentucky and all points in between. And then there's the aforementioned Talk TV, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble. Like and subscribe. It's episode 1072. Now, Ken.
Yes, sir.
So I'm late. I walk up the stairs. It's like 2:45.
Okay.
I come around the corner to the hallway, the long hallway, the hallway that has our data center in it.
Oh, yes,
Our data center's right down the hall toward the country music station.
Right. We need to do something about that.
We do need to do something about that because I fear that it's impacting the animals.
It's hurting meerkats.
I feel like it's hurting the animals, mainly these animals that were down there in the middle of the hallway. So young Joseph from our sports station and young Jackson were engaged in a contest of football.
Football.
Well, actually, we were playing golf, but Joseph switched to football at the very end.
Y'all had golf?
We did have golf on that thing.
Whose thing is that?
That's Joseph's, but I have one too.
You have one? Have you ever Jackson, what are you doing?
We need to make it a mess around.
Come on. We have golf?
There is golf.
You notice how, hey, Ken.
Yes, sir.
You notice how it immediately became we have golf?
Yes.
What, you've got one of those, what is that? It's a virtual headset.
reality.
Virtual reality headset.
Yeah, they're pretty cool.
What, is that a PlayStation product? Is that a Sony product?
It is a Meta product.
Okay. And how would you describe that to people who have never experienced it?
It is essentially like these big, like you saw them, they're like
Big goggles. Yeah.
that you put on, and it's like
It's virtual reality.
yeah, it's virtual reality. It feels like you're holding the golf club and swinging, and
So you have two little things on your hands that.
yes, think of it like Wii remotes. If you ever played the Wii,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but the headset tracks those in real time.
So the headset knows where those are, and obviously you have them and you're controlling them in your hands. And so based on what you're doing with your hands, whether it's with a golf club or with a football, it's going to react accordingly.
Or baseball, or
Whatever it is.
you can be Batman.
What?
There's a Batman game.
I'm Batman.
I'd be Batman.
I'd be Batman.
The Batman game's hard.
Is it?
Yeah, it's hard being Batman.
I bet it is. It's tough being rich and grumpy.
Can't get the voice down.
Batman, rich and grumpy's no way to go through life, y'all. Just not. Is it down there in the cave? Just kill my parents. Get over it. Get over it. You got billions. So I walk through the hallway, and there's young Joseph, and the first thing the first thing that happens is that Jackson physically assaulted me.
I did.
He grabbed me in my chestal area, Ken.
Goodness
and
gracious.
I didn't like. He gave me we used to call that a
Poiple Noipel.
we used to call it a titty twister.
Yeah, it's titty twister.
Well, that's what we called it. But one way or the other, that's what he gave me, and I didn't like it. And if we had HR in the building, I would have gone directly to them, but we do not. In order to get to our HR, you got to get in a car and.
Got to drive down to Atlanta.
I think you got to take a road trip to Atlanta to find somebody in HR. But then he said, no, Jackson was very excited. He's like, Murph, you got to try this. You got to try it. You got to try it. I did not try it because I had other things to do. But
I gotta work. Some of us have to work.
What I said was, you remember what I said? The first thing I said? I said, is this what you people do when I take a day off?
No, we did it when we knew you were coming back.
It looks like a lot of fun, though.
We were having a good time.
The old virtual reality. You can get in a lot of trouble with that virtual reality. How long do y'all think, and I'm being as serious as it can be, how long do you think before we have like Star Trek like hologram rooms? Y'all know what I'm saying?
Kind of what virtual reality is?
Yeah.
Oh, you mean where like just everything will just pop up
Yeah.
right amongst you?
Yeah, just there it is.
I don't think we're far out.
I don't think we're far out either. Now, an ability to interact with those things is obviously maybe a little bit further away. I mean, clearly you can't like manifest things in this, but y'all know what I'm talking about, right? The hologram room where in Star Trek Next Generation, they go into a room and suddenly they're on a beach somewhere.
Yes.
And, and the music's playing in the back, the luau music's playing in the background, and the little hula skirts are going. Jackson in a hula skirt. Now there's an image. Oh, don't. With the little coke.
Rock-a-hula, rock-a-hula.
I'm just imagining the size of those coconuts. Anyway, did y'all have a good day when I wasn't here?
Great day.
Yeah,
I was
it was a good
out.
day.
Okay, good. I'm glad to hear it.
Well, Brother Cameron, man, he was ticking people off.
What was Cameron talking about?
He was just talking. He was just giving different viewpoints.
Yeah, he was just, I mean, look, there is nothing wrong with disagreeing with the current administration, just as we have disagreed with previous administrations. I agree with about 98% of what this, well, I don't even agree with 98% of what this administration has to say about anything, but the Iranian deal is turning into a quag without boots on the ground. We will discuss a little bit of that today as we get the program underway. But, I missed y'all too. Thank you for indulging me a day.
How was E's birthday?
E's birthday was wonderful. It was
Excellent.
fabulous. She got a rubber tree.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, and who doesn't want a rubber tree?
Are they hard to take care of?
I don't know. It's officially not my problem. You know what I'm saying?
What's not your problem?
The rubber tree.
What's a rubber tree?
I got Erica a rubber tree for her birthday. She wanted a rubber tree. Oh, well, she didn't want a rubber tree, but I got her a rubber tree. It's a type of plant, Jackson.
It's a cool plant you put in your house.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Almost looks fake.
But it
actually
is
doesn't even almost look fake. Looks fake.
It is fake, correct?
It is not fake. It's real.
Yep, it's real.
Does it produce rubber?
It's just like rubber.
Yeah. I don't know.
Can you harvest rubber?
From my rubber tree?
Yes.
I have not investigated that, Jackson, but I will. I'm on top of it.
I need a full report.
Speaking of a full report, I need you to report. So right before we came on the radio, and by the way, let me signpost for just a minute before I get into this. In all seriousness, Van Hillary is going to stop by. It's our first opportunity to speak to Van Hillary. He is running against Johnny Garrett in the 6th Congressional District race. He's going to be here at 3:35 this afternoon. We've got about a little less than 30 minutes to spend with him, getting to know him. It really will be very much a getting to know you interview, because I don't know a lot about Van Hillary. I know that he served in Congress prior to being the chief of staff of John Rose, and we'll talk to him about the state of affairs in Congress, et cetera, et cetera. Of course, Fry J in place at 4:05 this afternoon with our Jay Sinclair.
Right.
And Gloria Giorno will be along to talk about the Reagan Society's event that I will be a part of on the 26th. I think it's the 26th. Is July 26th the Sunday, Jackson? Fact check Murphy on that. I think so. Yeah, that'll be right. I got it. I fact checked it. So, July 26th, we invite you to get your tickets to the Reagan Society event in Franklin, Tennessee, in Williamson County. Nick Shirley, young industrious reporter who broke all of the fraud, waste, and abuse that was going on in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and beyond, and has now expanded his investigative research to a nationwide hunt for fraud and abuse. He's going to be in the state on the 26th, the afternoon of the 26th. Are you going with me? Yeah, I mean, you're invited.
Sure.
I'd love to have you there, Jax.
Sure.
Now, you can go with me. Where have you invited me to go with you?
We're going to go to a baby shower tomorrow. We've been invited.
So this is the last thing that I heard before we came on the radio.
I'm going to go.
You're going to a baby shower?
Yes. Because it is
It is
my pal.
Your buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. I want to talk about this in just a second, but I need to talk to Ken for a minute.
Ken, do you want to go? It's right in your backyard.
No, sir.
Okay.
I don't.
Jackson, I want to have
But
a
thanks for inviting.
Jackson barely got through that without busting out laughing. Jackson, right? It's not in his backyard. Ken, are you having a baby shower in your backyard?
I mean,
It's in Murfreesboro.
Yes.
Okay. Ken,
Yes, sir.
Jackson, I'll be with you in a minute, okay?
Yes, sir.
Ken,
Yes, sir.
remember when we were younger and when someone referred to a baby shower, it was a natural assumption that that was a female thing.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jackson,
Yes.
no, I'm not going to a baby shower.
There's a new pool table.
Okay, that's enticing. So,
He did just get a nice pool table.
will there be libations?
I believe so.
As far as you know, there will be libations.
They gonna do one of those explosive reveals?
No, they already know.
Oh,
Do we know?
Yes.
Is it public? I mean, can we?
I don't know if it's radio public. I can tell you when we go to break public.
Well, it's a 50-50 shot here. I mean, it's not like
Then guess.
I'm guessing boy. Oh. Can I got it right, everybody.
Well,
it's a
what do you know
boy.
about that?
Yeah, there you go. Well, congratulations to Joseph and wife. That's awesome.
way to go, brother Joseph.
Way to go, Joseph. Hey, it's always nice when a young man like Joseph gets proof that he's had sexual relations at least once.
Oh, God.
Well, what?
Matt.
What? It's true. Do DNA test. Okay, so to your question of baby shower, is this common practice amongst the younger folks? I'm not playing that. We did it better when we were my age game. I'm not trying to do that. But is this now common practice that baby showers are co-ed?
I'm assuming, because I've been invited to two in the next month, so I'm assuming it's now a both have to go thing.
So we've just
That way you get more gifts.
well. So Ken, would you? So you wouldn't go to a baby shower?
I don't think I would.
I mean, I would be predisposed to not to. I mean, unless you
It
convince.
depends on what's going on there.
Like, have we just turned baby showers into a backyard barbecue? Now, if that's what we've done,
That's kind of what it is.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But I'm a little leery. I don't want to play like baby. I mean, I don't even know.
I hope there's not. I need to ask him that.
like baby shower games and that kind of thing? And are we going to sit around and are we going to watch Mama open all of the gifts together? And
Well, and what if you don't like the significant others of all the women there?
oh, see, that's tough too, Ken.
That's where it gets,
That gets
you're
tough.
sitting around talking, you're just making small talk, and it's just bleh.
Yeah. Well, that's why, and I don't mean to come off like an alky here, but that's where alcohol is essential.
Yes, sir.
Essential. Because that just kind of lubes up the conversation, right?
Well,
it just gets it flowing.
Yeah, and it allows you to tolerate more.
It is a social tonic, for goodness sake. Yeah, well, toleration is a good point, Ken. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, I mean, this old dude over there in the corner is annoying the hell out of me. I just gotta have another drink. But it also, you find common ground when the libations are flowing. I feel that way.
I feel like Brother Joseph needs to have his buddy there with him. I think Brother Joseph doesn't want to be the only one there, if you know what I mean.
No, I get that, and that's why he invited Jackson. What I don't understand is why Jackson is inviting me.
There will be other people that we work with there.
Old people?
You were probably, yeah. I'm just gonna leave that one where it lies. Ross is invited.
Jackson gets uncomfortable calling other coworkers old. Never uncomfortable calling me old.
Or me.
Or Ken.
I don't call Ken old. Ken's 32.
Ken's older than me.
No, he's not.
What,
Not in my head.
You're just going to choose not to believe it?
Yeah.
Regardless of whether it's true or not?
Fake news.
Okay. By the way, I can take back that birthday cake you got.
Oh, yeah, Ken, we got some birthday cake in the fridge.
You didn't even tell him?
Eater.
This is the first time I've talked to Ken all day. I've been playing VR, remember?
Oh, that's true. That's a good point. All right, we're going to get into the news of the day. Our man Van Hillary is already in studio with us, so we're going to talk to him about. Well, I mean, just for me, maybe not for all of you, because for you long timers in the state of Tennessee, y'all know Van very well. I've met him on a couple of occasions, but we can walk through his political career, his congressional career, and his work as chief of staff at John Rose, and his candidacy for the 6th Congressional District. It's all on the way. 23 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for Better Water. Are you not for better water? Do you know the quality of water that is coming out of your tap? You probably don't. Most don't. But you will when you contact Better Water and Better Water LLC and get them out to your home. It's what I did. When I moved over to Mount Pleasant, I made a lot of different calls, right? You called my U.S. Pest, I called all kind of my folks, my home-based folks, and I called Better Water. I said, I need y'all out here, and they came out. They went out and did a great job. Robert came to the house, and he gave us a full examination of our home. We checked for sulfur and iron and hard water, of course, and chlorine, bacteria, and even things like E. coli. And he gave us a thumbs up. He said, Murphy, y'all've got good water down here in Mount Pleasant. Congratulations. I would recommend maybe a reverse osmosis filter on your basement sink system. It's an under-the-sink application. Make sure that, if you're combining a little brown water with some branch, that you're getting nice quality branch. It's exactly what we did. Absolutely love the results. You will, too. Go to Better Water LLC. Look, if you aren't sure of what is washing the kids' clothes, if you're not sure of what type of water the kids are bathing in, you need better water in your life. It's a free consultation. Give them a call and tell them Matt Murphy sent you. 615-355-6063, 355-6063, online at betterwater.com. It is intentional, folks. And Shane Ring, one of the first things he taught me at Coverdash is that the health insurance companies that make health insurance so dadgum confusing, it's intentional. Because they want you just to stick with what you've got, what they have recommended that you use, and never move off of that, whether it's saving you money or not. Maybe it's wasting you a lot of money, whether you're getting the coverage that you deserve or not. Shane Ring is here to cut through all of that. He is a disruptor in the health insurance game, and he's your disruptor. That means he works for you. He doesn't work for the insurance companies, but he has access and he has the knowledge to help you understand exactly what's going on, right? So he has access to the 75 plus insurance programs and plans that are available to Tennessee residents. He understands these plans backwards and forwards. He has read the fine print, so you don't have to. He can explain it to you in a way that is easy to understand, and mostly he gets you the coverage that you need, and he gets it to you for less money. And that's what it's all about, right? So if you are self-employed, uninsured, or simply tired of paying too much, it's time to call my man Shane Ring at Coverdash. Don't wait another moment. And don't believe this open enrollment nonsense. You can make changes right now. Go to Coverdash.com or 615-465-0023. 465-0023.
And we're tracking the potential for severe storms and flash flooding all weekend long. Goodlettsville police looking for a man they say hurt 2 cops this morning. This story and more coming up at 3:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. We'll be talking with a candidate for the 6th Congressional District, Van Hillary, coming up in just a moment. First opportunity to have Van in studio. Like I say, I've seen him from time to time around at various functions and whatnot, and I know he has been canvassing the 6th Congressional District as best he can in advance of the primary election happening on August 6th. And in the spirit of trying to make you the most informed listening audience on planet Earth, we've got Van in. We're going to cover that 6th Congressional District race. Obviously, we're covering number 5. There's not really one in number 7 to speak of. We'll cover whatever we can. There's not really one in 4, no disrespect to some of the primary challenges that Desjardins has. It's really 9, 6, and 5, right? Those are the 3 that are of most interest to the listening audience in my estimation. Now, obviously, the governor's race as well. So we're covering all of that like the morning dew on the Murphy Show on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Speaking of covering things, my goodness gracious, this audit, which was published by the Tennessee Comptroller of the Treasury. Marsha Blackburn has made comment on it. If you've not seen some of this, it is, there was a time when I openly questioned how in the world could we be spending the amount of money that we're spending on the federal level and we're not seeing any impact from it, right? Like our lives don't get any better, yet we continue to overspend by over $1 trillion a year, right? We add to the national debt by $1 trillion a year. I'm like, should our lives be a little bit better? and I'm like, where's all this money going? How where's all this money going? So we mentioned Nick Shirley. You start uncovering the massive billions and billions and hundreds of billions of dollars worth of fraud in that state alone. And then California fraud and some of the other fraudulent activity that is going on across the United States. And then we see right here in our own state, we're a ruby red state, right? But right here in our own state, this audit in Memphis, and you begin to realize where all of our tax dollars are going and how it is impacting our lives in a negative way because that expenditure of money, I think that's negative expenditure because obviously we're adding to the national debt anyway, but it's also we're not benefiting from it in real time because it's going to the bad guys. We shall discuss on the program, and I imagine that our national debt will be a topic of conversation with our next guest. Van Hillary will be with us in a moment. It's 31 after the hour on Super Talk.
We are tracking the potential for severe storms and flash flooding today and the entire weekend. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Middle Tennessee, Goodlettsville police looking for 30-year-old Jordan Termaine Barbie after a pursuit involving a stolen vehicle this morning. They say where two police officers were injured. Investigators say Barbie was driving a stolen black Jaguar XF that was detected by the city's license plate reader system. Police say he rammed a patrol vehicle when officers tried to pull him over. Then he took off. Authorities consider Barbie armed and dangerous. They're urging the public not to approach him. He's described as black, 5'7" tall, approximately 230 pounds. He has an extensive criminal history in Middle Tennessee, including active warrants in Robertson and Montgomery counties. At least 31 states, including Tennessee, are now reporting cases of the parasitic disease that health officials say leads to uncomfortable gastrointestinal symptoms. It's called Cyclosporiasis, and it's not entirely clear what the root cause is, but health officials believe it may be linked to contaminated fresh produce or water. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says it is treated by antibiotics.
It just takes a small amount to infect people. It can be on contaminated fruits, vegetables, water that may be contaminated by human waste, people who were previously infected. And if you do ingest a parasite and get sick, it causes inflammation in your gut to the point where you can't absorb water or food. And this can cause, and I'm saying this scientifically, explosive watery diarrhea.
Yeah, the outbreak has at least one fast food chain, Taco Bell, pulling tomatoes, lettuce, cilantro, and raw onions from its menu in hard-hit Michigan. Again, the disease is treatable with antibiotics, but gone untreated, symptoms can last for weeks. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, that brake tap in, stop and go is getting even more so if you're north and southbound 65 from Millersville, actually basically just between Millersville and Goodlettsville. And then if you are eastbound 440 to 24 here downtown, northbound North Loop up to the northern split, and then 40 from westbound from the 440 split going downtown, and still showing a lot of brake tap in southbound 65 either side of 840. I'm Ken Weaver.
Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy for the Tennessee Men's Clinic. It's a sensitive subject for you fellas, and I'm not here to get into your business, but I am here to tell you that if you're looking for a business that focuses on men's health, and most of their focus within that arena is in men's sexual health, Tennessee Men's Clinic is the place to go. There's a lot of conversation, a lot of clatter, a lot of chatter about this, about testosterone levels and what's going on with you and this online shop and that online pill. Cut through all of that and go to the qualified urologists that have been here since 2014 in Middle Tennessee. Evan Bass opened the shop in Nashville that year. He has since opened places in Cool Springs. Up in Clarksville, you don't have to drive to Nashville to get service because they've got you a location up there, and the brand new spot in Murfreesboro. All of this is designed for your health, Ben. You don't have to give up on life. This is not 1976 anymore, gentlemen. You don't have to go through a point where you're like, well, I guess intimacy is over for us. Nope. That is not the case. Call the Tennessee Men's Clinic and allow them to help you. They will, for less than $100, they'll give you a full comprehensive examination, take a little blood work, figure out what's going on in your body, and get you a plan of action, a plan of success. Get back in the game, men, with the Tennessee Men's Clinic. Go to TennesseeMen'sClinic.com or call 615-208-9090, 208-9090. Hello, friends. It's Matt Murphy, and Accurate Mortgage is your one-stop shop for all things mortgages. And we are hearing that home buying and locking in rates is going up because home prices have gone down. The market's kind of, the market ebbs and flows like a teeter-totter. Sometimes the more interest rates go up, so home buying goes down. Well, then the home prices go down as a result. So you can take advantage of that, even though the interest rates are a little bit up over what they used to be several years ago. Y'all understand that? Well, let me tell you something. If you're in the market, you're in the market. If you're looking to refi, you're looking to refi. If you're looking to renovate your current home, you can do that as well. And the one place that I would recommend you go is Accurate Mortgage. They're local. They're right in our neck of the woods. I love that. I love that you can sit down with them and talk to them, but they make it so easy. I'm telling you, home buying is not like it used to be. I bought a home 20 years ago, then I bought a home in January. And let me tell you, the January home buying experience with Accurate Mortgage was so much different. Accurate Mortgage. Go to AccurateMTG.com to find out more. AccurateMTG.com. I encourage you to give them a shout. NMLS 129944. Rates and terms subject to change. Equal housing lender. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Without further ado, because we're so crunched on time, let us get directly to our next guest. It's an anticipated interview, and many of you are like, hey, when are you going to have this fella on? When are you going to have the guy on? I was like, we're coming. We're doing it. We're going to make it happen. And now the time has come on this Friday to welcome into studio Van Hillary. He is running for the 6th Congressional District seat being vacated by John Rose, and he joins us in studio to talk about his political past, the political present, and what he hopes to be the political future. Van, thank you for being on with us. Good afternoon.
Mr. Murphy.
What's up?
You tell me. I think things are going pretty well. There's a lot of politics going on.
I feel like I feel like the audience is probably a lot more caught up than I am, that I've got a lot of catching up to do because I've only gotten to know you in your capacity as chief of staff for Congressman Rose and your life kind of behind the scenes. But, obviously there's a lot of political service prior to that. So let's start at the beginning. What called you to public service?
The part about where I was born in a cabin on the side of a mountain in East Tennessee, or just a little after that?
I mean, that's fair. That's fair. That's the beginning for Van Hillary.
Well, it wasn't quite a cabin. But anyway, so I grew up in Spring City, Tennessee, town of 2,000 people strong in Ray County in East Tennessee. When I was little, my dad never said, son, someday when you go to college, it's always, son, someday when you go to the University of Tennessee. So I knew nothing else. So I went up there and went to Knoxville. I went on an Air Force ROTC scholarship. So I went in the Air Force after that. And then after a while, I traded that for, we didn't trade for it, but I went into the reserve. And then 13 years total, Air Force active duty and reserve. I was a C-130 navigator. That's what I did in the Air Force. I was a volunteer for Operation Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I was thrown in with people who had been recalled to active duty reservists, but they were both, their units for up north. I was the only one that had a southern accent, and therefore they thought I was an active duty spy, but I was not. I was a reservist. And then we flew missions over there. Some of them more dangerous than others, but anyway. One of our missions was medevac. So we had practiced medevac, practice in peacetime. This is the first time we're actually doing it with actual wounded soldiers, trying to get them off the field in time to get them to a hospital. And C-130 can land on a dirt strip in the middle of nowhere, a virtually unimproved dirt strip. And so that was our mission, and one of them, in addition to cargo, just flat out cargo hauling. And it really kind of made an impression on me. My seat was in the cockpit right behind the co-pilot, and I remember thinking, we're doing our part up here, but those guys in the back who are in various forms of messed up, shot up, I said, they're the ones that are really giving it the office. So I decided then and there I probably was not going to come back and practice law. I just graduated from law school. I graduated from law school, and then I volunteered to go to the Persian Gulf, and so I left like 24 hours later. And so I eventually took and passed the bar, but I never practiced really. And so that led me to politics. And so I ran for state senate in 2002 against a lady named Annabelle Clement O'Brien, who you don't know, but her brother was Governor Frank Clement years ago. Her nephew was Bob Clement, who was a congressman here at the time. Her husband was on the state Supreme Court. Anyway, a powerful family in the Democrat Party. And no one gave me a chance, and I was like a little baby that knew no fear, walk right off the stairs, tumble down because I knew no fear. We almost won. They actually announced at the Democrat Party in Nashville that night that I had won, but then they found some boxes of votes overnight.
Did they now?
In Overton County. And
Weird how the Democrats do that.
It has happened for a long time. Right. And so I went along and I said, okay, I'm not going to save the world and try to pay these guys back for their sacrifice with politics. So I went on. And so I was single and I kind of pushed all my chips out into the middle. I needed to kind of heal up, so I did. And then but Bill Clinton, but after that race, I was kind of recruited to run for Congress by the powers that be in Nashville because they thought I'd wildly exceeded expectations in that race, even though I didn't win. And so I said, no, I'm going to do something else. But anyway, Bill Clinton ran on a middle-class tax cut, I guess you remember, one of the main parts of his platform. And then as soon as he got in, the first thing that he and Al Gore did was push through, at the time, the biggest tax increase we'd ever seen. And so that night that passed, the next day I called the chairman of the party. I said, I'm in. So I was in, and I didn't know at the time, but that was a huge wave in '94, the Newt Gingrich contract with America year. And so even though it was a Democrat district, I won, and all the Democrats running had spent all their money in the primary because they assumed that was tantamount to being the new congressman if they won the primary, and I won.
I watched this transition happen in Alabama during my time there. I started as a talk show host in 2000, and I don't think there was a single statewide seat. I mean, because they're all elected down there, governor, lieutenant governor, secretary of state, and there was a Democrat majority in the state legislature.
Sure, yeah.
And I imagine that was the case. I mean, was that the case when you won your seat? I mean, how has Tennessee changed from then until now? And how will your priorities change as a result?
Well, so to quickly finish that story first, and it'll play into that. Yeah. So I continued that trend of knowing no fear. And so even Jimmy Nafee, the Speaker of the House at the time, Democrat from West Tennessee, if someone was running against him that was Republican, I would go and be someone as a draw for whoever's running at their fundraiser or something. And so did that all over the state. I was happy to do it. And I won 4 terms. We did some good things, I think, in that contract with America group. We eventually passed about 75% of what we had in the contract of America into law. I actually brought a constitutional amendment for term limits to the floor as a freshman, which is almost unheard of. And we, of course, didn't get the 2/3 votes, but we did some good things. We balanced budgets, 4 budgets. Only 4 budgets have been balanced in 56 years, which is nuts.
Does it bother you that Bill Clinton gets some of the credit on that? Because I feel like the Republicans in the Congress deserve the vast majority of the. I mean, I suppose he signed it, and so you can give him credit for the idea, or he didn't necessarily actively oppose it. Does it bother you there?
Well, he did actively oppose it quite a bit, but we eventually passed the appropriations bills that back up the budget resolution, which I don't think has a presidential signature, but the appropriations bills were the ones that, it kind of sets the size of the pie, and the appropriations can come along and change that if they choose to, but they didn't. Right. So yeah, he got some credit for it, but whatever. It wouldn't have happened if we hadn't been in the majority. So
is that, I mean, that's an issue of mine, Van, that I bring up. It is a pet, call it a pet issue. I've long said that I believe that our inability to stop spending fake money is the number one existential threat that the United States of America faces.
No question. It's a national security issue. It threatens Social Security, Medicare, everything else. You let a debt get as high as when we passed those balanced budgets back then, the debt was around $5-ish trillion, and now it's $40 trillion, as you know. And at that
it's grown $19 trillion in 10 years.
Yeah, at that point, the debt controls you, not the other way around.
Right.
And that's where we are. And if China decides one day they're going to quit buying our T-bills, I mean, boom, boom, we're just going to be in a little death spiral that'll make 2008 look like child's play. And so I think it's a dangerous thing. It's really one of my number one issues. It's always galled me that we did the tough work, we balanced those budgets, we paid the price politically, we came home and had to explain what we were doing. It's just a matter of just having a mindset to do it. You got to roll up your sleeves, take the tough votes, come back and explain what you did. When they're accusing you of sending grandma over the cliff in a wheelchair, you just got to come back and explain what you did, and you can get through that. But it requires work, and it requires actually talking to people, not just doing Zoom calls and all that stuff. And I plan to do that again. But anyway, I want to get back to balanced budgets. I want term limits. I want to help the president with his America First agenda. It's way overdue. There's so much rot in every agency up there. DOJ was starting to just peck away at the top of it, and then somehow that went away. I love me some Doge, and we need to get some Doge back, but we got to balance the budget. Truth of the matter is, if we would just pass balanced budgets, it would force a prioritization of spending and force scoot some of that stuff out of the budget. But right now we're not forced to do that, and it's also a big reason why people stay forever and then get elected forever, because they can take deficit spending, borrowed money, and spread that money around in their various districts or states, and use that money to indirectly or directly buy blocks of votes with it, making their reelection much easier.
If my memory serves me correctly, just in the brief research I did last night, you ran for governor in 2002, right?
I did. So I sat on the budget committee, and I sat on the education and workforce committee, education and labor sometimes it's called. And of course, I came in somewhat enamored with education issues. I had not run on education issues. It's not really a federal issue. But I became even more convinced it's not a federal issue from my perch there. But I did learn that at the time, Tennessee had about 25% of their third graders couldn't read proficiently, which I think is a crime. Mm-hmm. We believe, the Republican Party thinks we should be the party that supports teaching someone how to fish and they can feed themselves the rest of their life. The other party thinks you ought to give them a fish the rest of their life. But
Fair,
to back that up, they believe that you ought to finish the race of life pretty close to the same place because they redistribute wealth and such. We believe you ought to start the race of life at the same place and let your God-given talent and how hard you're willing to work weigh in as to where you end up. But to do that and make that really work, you've got to have an absolute robust public education system. And so that's the great equalizer in this country. And we were failing our kids. And it's been improved in fits and spurts since then, but boy, we still have a long ways to go. Anyway, so I ran for governor. We were also that was the second time they were trying to put in a state income tax, and I feel like I helped keep Phil Bredesen honest on that, and in our debates and such. And so, but anyway, that didn't work out. Running against a guy worth $200 million is probably like pulling out Superman's cape. But once again, closest governor's race since the 1800s, and that in a quarter will get you a gumball out of a machine. So,
had there been a Republican governor prior to that in Tennessee?
Yeah. Lamar Alexander.
Alexander. Yeah. You do that, and then you continue your role in public service and politics. Most recently as John Rose's chief of staff.
Yeah, we'll skip to that. So I was out of it, and as far as politics goes, and John Rose, I've been trying to get him to run for Congress he was an old friend of mine, has known him for 30 years. I've been trying to get him to run for Congress for at least 15 of those years, and because I just thought he had all the attributes that would make him an excellent member of Congress. And he was too busy making a lot of money, and so he probably made the right decision there. But he finally did it in 2018, and then he won, and then there's more to the story, but essentially he basically said, you got me in this mess, now I want you to help me out.
Yeah.
There's a little more to it than that.
Yeah.
But, so we eventually got to where I said, okay, and he said, okay. I mean, it was back and forth a little bit. And I'm proud to have done that. He's a good man. I'll say this, whoever you're going to vote for, after having been with John Rose behind the curtain for 6.5 years, in addition to just knowing him all these years in front of the curtain, nothing that I thought about him before was ever diminished, or I wouldn't have stayed 6.5 years if it had been. And because some people viewed it as a step back, I viewed it as just another way to serve, and also help a good man. So that's what I did. But I also got to know a lot of the people in all the counties in this district through just doing my job. If they got a problem, I'd often go in and be the one that try to help fix it.
So you served for 8 years in the latter half of the 90s, early part of the 2000s, and now you have served for the last 6 years as chief of staff. What has changed about Congress between the time that you were serving there as a congressman and chief of staff, and would you change your approach any?
3 things have changed. The internet and social media is a big difference. It has created, I think, chaos in Congress. It's added to the chaos in Congress. Why? Because it monetizes and rewards misbehavior. So people can say outrageous things, do outrageous things, and they get clicks for that, and they raise tons of money across the fruited plain, and from that. And
some of those folks in Tennessee?
Well, we're not going to name names.
Well, no, that's fine. But I mean, fair.
Well, let's just say there's a lot more on the Democrat side, but we're not devoid of that problem.
Sure.
Side. And so, as a consequence, we're not moving the needle much for the country, in my view, in part because of that. And so, so one thing is social media and internet. Second thing is the secularization of the country. And if Congress is nothing if not a reflective body of what the country is doing. And when we have secularized the country, I feel like that is you elect people who are no longer men and women of faith. And I think that if you don't believe in a higher being that guides your what you do, then I think you are more susceptible to the human frailties. It's not like you're not susceptible always, anybody, but I think, part of our fix in this country is that we've got to have people of good moral character who will do the right thing when no one's looking. And we don't have that in many cases today. And it's worse today than it was then. And then the last thing is that Democrats have changed. I mean, when I was a kid in Tennessee, Democrats were pretty conservative. I mean, they were, no big deal. And so, but at least philosophically, most of them were conservative. Then when I got to Congress, the conservative ones had become Republicans by and large after the Obama presidency, and in the South. And then when I was in Congress, Democrats were liberal, meaning they wanted more money and they wanted more government, and the government was a solution to everything.
Tax and spend, and yeah.
But at the end of the day, they love their country. But they're being rapidly replaced with people that don't love their country. And so that is maybe the worst thing that's going on right now. And that's why I'm running in a sense. I think the window is closing on us fairly rapidly for turning these things around. And I think that's why President Trump was elected. People sense that out and about. I sense it. I don't need this job. I don't covet this job. I want the job. I'm running, spending 16 hours a day on this job. Been gainfully unemployed for about a year. So, I mean, I must really want it. But I just think I've got something to offer at a time when we really badly need some help.
Jackson's telling me we've only got about a minute left, and the time has flown by, and I feel like this is just an introduction to Van Hiller, at least from our show's perspective. We'll have you back, but before I have to say goodbye, what's the biggest thing that separates you and Johnny Garrett, your primary competitor in this race?
I don't have a trust fund my granddaddy set up for me that allows me to be viable in this race. I have to do it the old-fashioned way and beg people for money, and I hate doing that. That's one difference. I go in with 8 years seniority. I know what I'm doing. It's usually about a 4-year learning curve. I don't have that at all. I can go right into the fray. You get the seniority back when you go back. But more than that, just the knowledge and the heft that allows you to have so that you can do battle up there to try to help push the America First agenda, which I'm absolutely for. I think the president's a godsend in that sense for the country. But also to try to get term limits and balanced budgets and the other things that I support, try to get those done. I don't think it's pie in the sky. I think it's doable, but I think it requires somebody that really knows what they're doing.
Well, I mean, in the times that I have gotten to know you and events that I've seen you out, to know you is to like you. I know Johnny, like Johnny, but I try to tell people at this point, this is not a personality contest. It's about who you believe can get the job done. This is why I love having you on, love hearing your perspective. Yeah. And I want to have you back before the primary. Sure. We'll do that. Thank you for stopping by and just letting everybody get to know you. There's Van Hiller. Where can people find out more about your campaign?
Van4TN.com.
That's
Van4TN.com. Thank you for mentioning that.
Van4TN.com. We've got to go. 56 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hey, friends, Matt Murphy. You've heard Matt Murphy, Dan Mandis. You've heard both of us talking about Contours LLC and everything that they have to offer. Well, now you have an opportunity to come by and say hello to us. It's Saturday, July 18th from 11 until 1. It's an open house at Contours LLC. Your chance to tour the facility, see the technology firsthand, meet the team, meet us, say hello to us, and learn how Contours is helping people slim down, get rid of the fat in those stubborn areas, tighten your skin, look years younger without surgery, without needles, and without downtime. Folks, bottom line, I didn't believe this when I first was hearing about it, and I've told Keith this story plenty. I was like, this just sounds too good to be true. Oh, it's red light therapy, and it goes underneath the skin, and it's going to, open up the fat cells, and you lose the fat, and you lose the weight, and you lose the sizes. It just did not sound real. Then I did it, and it worked, and I'm like, well, I guess it's real. If you're interested in body contouring, facial rejuvenation, or simply curious about what red light technology can do, come see us on the 18th from 11 until 1 at Contours LLC. ContoursLLC.com, ContoursLLC.com, or 615-236-9960. You know, Mark from Nashville Safe House was on the show, a few days ago, talking to us about the incredible rebates that are going on right now with Browning and other models at Nashville Safe House. That's right, friends. Nashville Safe House is your one-stop shop for all things safety and safes in our community. They do safes, they do vault doors, they do biometrics, they do tornado shelters. That's about it. They specialize in these items, and they are so important in your life. If you're concerned about theft or fire in your life, you need to get with Mark, Jill, and the rest of the team at Nashville Safe House. They have 200 safes on the showroom floor, about 600 total in stock. Mark knows the exact number. They have the right safe for you because Mark understands, and like you're asking, why do they stock all those safes? Because people want to touch them, they want to feel them, they want to see inside of them, and you want a professional delivery crew delivering your safe immediately upon purchase, which they can do in Nashville Safe House. So go by and see them, 4th Avenue South in Nashville, across from the infamous City Cemetery, or online at NashvilleSafeHouse.com.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. All of Middle Tennessee under threat of severe weather and flash flooding today and the entire weekend. Fingers crossed what happened in Missouri doesn't happen here.
In Iron and Reynolds County, Missouri, they've got people needing rescue at campgrounds. They've had 6 to 10 inches of rain fall in just a couple of hours. So what's happening here, we have training thunderstorms, meaning they're rolling over the exact same area over and over again. So if you've already had 6 to 10 and now you're going to try to add 3 to 5 inches, that's a big problem.
All right, so the highest risk for severe weather in Middle Tennessee this weekend will be tomorrow at a level 2 out of 5. Got the full forecast and traffic in 5 minutes. At least 31 states, including Tennessee, are now reporting cases of the parasitic disease that health officials say leads to uncomfortable gastrointestinal symptoms, explosive diarrhea. It's called cyclosporiasis, and it's not entirely clear what the root cause is. But health officials believe it may be linked to contaminated fresh produce or water. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel has these tips to prevent illness.
This is just a general reminder, especially when it's hot outside and there are increased cases of food poisoning, is hand washing with soap and water is critical. So is wiping down all of your surfaces and utensils. You want to make sure that you are washing fruits and vegetables. Like I have an apple right here. I will wash this thing before I eat it. And you want to make sure that even if the bag says wash, you're still kind of cleaning those down and you're making sure you're only drinking treated clean sources of water.
Yeah, the outbreak has at least one fast food chain, Taco Bell, pulling tomatoes, lettuce, cilantro, and raw onions from its menu in hard-hit Michigan. The disease is treatable with antibiotics, but gone untreated, symptoms can last for weeks. President Trump is not expected to veto a major bipartisan affordable housing bill approved by Congress, according to U.S. official. Although Trump says he won't sign the measure, it can still become law automatically if he takes no action before the deadline tonight. The legislation aims to boost housing construction, lower costs, and curb some purchases of single-family homes by large investors. Unless the president changes course and issues a veto, the bill is expected to take effect this weekend. And the pretrial hearings in the case of Tyler Robinson have concluded in Utah. Robinson is accused of shooting and killing influencer Charlie Kirk. Prosecutors presented evidence to the public and to the judge, including a video interview with Robinson's former partner and roommate. More from ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer.
There's a lot of evidence being presented that you don't necessarily need to prove their case at this threshold. Namely, I would talk about the video with Twig. Tyler Robbins, his romantic partner. We don't typically see those, but the prosecution is putting out a very strong case, I think, not just for the judge, but also for the public to show what kind of evidence they have against Tyler Robinson.
Yeah, the judge says he's going to decide September 1st whether or not this case goes to trial. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, break tapping underway in the usual places. It is especially slow going today, both directions 65, Goodlettsville and Millersville. We've got it eastbound 24 there at Clarksville, and then southbound 65 there at 840. Of course, northbound 65 to the South Loop, northbound North Loop to the Northern Split, eastbound 440 over to 24. I'm Ken Weaver.
News coming out just a few moments ago regarding the Maine Senate race. The former candidate of choice for the Democrat Party, Graham Plattner, who announced his intention to withdraw from the race, formally has withdrawn from the race. In doing so, he offered a message, a letter to the political party. Maine Democrat Graham Plattner formally withdrew his name from the U.S. Senate bid in a letter to state election officials today. Plattner posted a photo of the letter. Did not share any immediate details about who he hoped would succeed him to face incumbent Senator Susan Collins this coming November, but he did include the language bleep ICE, that's F ICE, but he said free Palestine, up the hearts. I don't know what up the hearts means. Maybe I should. I don't know. But Grant Plattner has formally offered his withdrawal from the Maine Senate race. In the meantime, I want to clear something up, and it is not my intention to dismiss John Henry in the 6th Congressional District race, and several of you are like, hey, there's a third guy there, and I apologize for that. I sincerely do. I'll try to be better about that. I try not to dismiss anyone, even no matter what their pecking order is in the political campaign season. So once again, there is another name in that race, and that is John Henry, along with Johnny Garrett and Van Hillary. Those three asking for your vote this coming August 6th. So my apologies to those of you. Like 0025 said, you chose not to. John Henry's. I gave you time to clear up your mistake. There's another Republican in this race. John Henry spending money with your station. You dismissed him as a candidate in the race. How disingenuous of you. I don't understand how disingenuous that is of me. It was an honest error. And I apologize. I've had John Henry on the show, and will again. I like John Henry; seems like a nice guy, and we'll try to get him back on before August 6th. 11 minutes after the hour, friends and neighbors. It is a First Amendment Freestyle Friday. More importantly, for our purposes right now, it's Friday.
Good morning, Americans. It's Friday.
That's right, ladies and germs. It is time for our weekly visit with our legal correspondent. He is my best friend. He's a good Tennessee man. He's the smartest legal mind that I've ever had the opportunity to speak with on the radio, and his name is Jay Sinclair, and he joins us on these Fridays for free legal advice. Hey, Jay.
Hey, buddy.
Jay, I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
How you doing?
Matt, if I were any better, I'd be that big goomer on the Norwegian soccer team.
That's a fine guy.
I mean, that guy is living the life.
I didn't expect that one, Jay. That's good.
I don't know his name. But he's a neat guy. He's really interesting. And
that's good. That's good.
Can you see my T-shirt?
Hold on. I can look at it. Hold on.
You got to read it backwards.
All right.
Guess when I got this.
I don't know.
Well, when I bought all of that flooring that you helped me install in my garage, this T-shirt came with it.
Oh, really? How about that? Yeah. Jay's T-shirt, for those not watching on Talk Television, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Rumble, you should watch because you get to see Jay. You get to see Mona in the background. You got Mona in the background. Jay's T-shirt says, "My garage makes me happy."
Yeah, and it does.
It does. I know that's a fact.
But except every time I go down there's one thing that really bothers me.
Those posts that
they still aren't painted from floor to ceiling.
Oh, he'll get to it.
Yeah,
your boy. I know Chuck well. He'll get to it. It's on his list. Don't just wait on it. Jay, I don't often throw you curveballs, and I don't think it's much of a curveball because I know that you understand courtroom procedure more than anybody. This is more of a criminal procedural matter that I thought to ask you about, and that is this Tyler Robinson case. The Charlie Kirk, alleged assassin of Charlie Kirk. Right. There's a preliminary hearing going on.
Right.
And
I've been following it a little bit.
Is that just the way that they do it out in Utah? I mean, I'm confused about, like, sometimes you hear, the grand jury is going to decide if we're going to bring these charges. And in this case, I don't know that I've ever heard of it done this way where they're publicly presenting preliminary evidence. Maybe it's because there hasn't been a high-profile case like this recently. What do you know about this?
No, I know quite a lot about it, man, actually, and it's a pretty common procedure. Most states have it. I'm sure Tennessee has it, and it's like in civil cases. There is a screening process on the front end where even if an indictment has been issued, I think there's still a preliminary hearing. And it's just a way of testing whether there's even enough evidence to go forward in the case.
Mm-hmm.
Now, in 95% of the cases, they waive the preliminary hearing. That's why you don't see it very often.
Okay. Okay.
They waive it because the lawyer knows they got enough evidence to go to trial. It's not a very high standard, man. And so the only time to really have a preliminary hearing is if you really think the case is shaky, or if you're Perry Mason.
Mm-hmm.
I've been watching the old Perry Mason shows. About half of them are preliminary hearings and half of them are trials. He wins every one of them.
Right. Right.
So if you're Perry, because somebody confesses at the end. So if you're Perry Mason, have a preliminary hearing in every case. In this case, I think they're doing it for purposes of discovery. They don't expect to win. They don't expect this indictment to be thrown out, man. They're trying to find out as much as they can about the prosecution's case. So that way they can deal with it better at trial. So they're using of finding out what the prosecutor's going to say.
Right, right.
And so that's what makes it unusual. 95% of the times, the defendant just waives it and says, no, that's fine. Let's go forward.
And I think I saw this correctly, that the defendant in this case, Tyler Robinson, has yet to enter a plea.
Yeah, and that's a lot.
Yeah.
But every state's still a little bit different. I guess out there in Utah, that maybe he doesn't have to until after the preliminary hearing.
But your expectation is just based on that we're going to move forward with the case.
I think it is more likely that Nick Saban will be the next head coach at the University of Tennessee than it is that this case gets thrown out of court.
Oh, dadgummit, Jay! You know what happens when you say University of Tennessee. It's. Jay, I recently tried to put a stop to this, but apparently Jackson got it put into his contract that when UT is mentioned that he's legally allowed to play the song. So,
Hey, listen, I don't know if you saw this, but Dolly Parton, the musical, is coming out this fall. And you and I have done a lot of things together and had a lot of fun together. We've never been to a Broadway show together.
Let's go, Jay. I'm all in.
I think that'd be great. Have you ever been to a Broadway show?
I have never been to a show on Broadway. Been to a lot of plays, a lot of musicals, but never one on Broadway.
Well, that's amazing. It's good. Yeah. And so, we ought to do that.
Ah, nice. I got 4326 that says, I watch old Perry Masons every night, and I've never seen anything but a preliminary trial.
Well, if you look closely, sir, I bet you've seen some that actually are trial. And the way you can tell is if there's a jury or not.
Perry always you told me one time that you had your Perry.
I had one real Perry Mason moment.
What was that like?
It was great. It was great. I set it up. I thought about it a lot. And it's from watching Perry Mason. I'm watching this whole show. I'm remembering why I became a lawyer, man.
Oh, wow.
This is exactly why I became a lawyer, was watching Perry Mason. And it's kind of like, I tell you what it reminded me of. There was a race for Congress down here, and there was some goon, I forgot who he was. He was taking Gary Palmer out of context, was snipping up some of his sound bites. And I told you need to do the same thing to him. And you said, that's brilliant.
That's
and y'all sat down there that weekend and did it. And then came in on Monday. I'm almost sure it was Monday, came in. Paul DeMarco, I think.
That was his name.
And you started doing it to him, and he was flabbergasted. That was a Perry Mason moment for you.
He did not know what to do. Yeah, and I remember the conversation. And you're like, well, the best way to get him to stop doing it, because I was like, he's taking Gary out of context, and I just don't like that. It's being disingenuous. And he's like, well, why don't you do the same thing?
Well, hey, Jackson, you listening?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Sometimes, you know how you fight fire?
With fire.
With fire, sometimes. Not always, but that time Matt fought fire with fire.
I did.
And he got Gary Palmer elected to that.
Well, I don't know about I'll say this. DeMarco, it was one of those moments where so for those that aren't familiar, two candidates in a runoff, one candidate had an ad running that took the other candidate, Gary Palmer, who's he's a sitting congressman in the 6th Congressional District in Alabama.
Yeah, term limit thing didn't work out.
No,
too well, did it?
yeah, it didn't. And it just goes to show you that as good anyway. So I'll say this. I believe that Gary meant it at the time that he said it. Yeah, that's as good as I could do with that one. But yeah, Gary Palmer, he has always been against taxes, and he was talking about being anti-tax, but Paul DeMarco took his comment out of context, and he stopped it right where he talked about, some people say that we need to raise taxes or something like that. Right. And so I took the many interviews that I had done over the years with Paul DeMarco, and I started taking them out of context. And by the time I was done with the edit feature, we had DeMarco in favor of he was against global warming. He was against. He was in favor of abortion. We had a lot of positions that Paul DeMarco didn't realize he had.
That's right.
He didn't know what to do with that.
No, and you were doing exactly what he was doing, and then you would tell him that, and you say, "Well, you did," and he said, "Well, I didn't say that." Well, neither did Gary Palmer.
Right.
You would agree. Now, and I told you, I prepped you on this.
Yeah.
Asking, you agree that is wrong, don't you?
Yeah, right. I remember that.
That's the Perry Mason question.
I remember distinctly because I said, what I'm doing to you, because this is the way we talked. I said, what I'm doing to you right now, Paul, is wrong, isn't it?
Isn't it? Saying you got to ask the question,
isn't it?
And he wouldn't answer.
He would not answer the question. You know what he did? He kept looking at his campaign guide.
Yeah. You know what he did?
He lost.
He lost.
Well, and that's what happens. They lose because they're not exactly being genuine folk. All right, so questions coming up. Jay and I are y'all get on the line here and ask legal questions, or Jay and I are going to talk about NASCAR for the next 20 minutes.
Denny Hamlin?
Oh, geez. Jay, have I talked to you about this as my lawyer that Jackson has decided to be
No, listen, I think I'm a little bit on the Denny Hamlin bus, too.
No, guys.
I just hate it. I hate to see another Mark Martin. Now, I'm not saying that Denny Hamlin is Mark Martin. He's not. He's not that good in a lot of ways. But there's a lot of similarities there. And, he'd even almost talked about retiring next year. And I just would like to see him win a championship.
Well, all right. That makes one of us, Jay. 21 after the hour. Super Talk 99.7 WT and back after this. Hello, friends. Matt Murphy. Graceoint Healthcare is on my mind because they are such a wonderful resource in our community, not just for your health, not just for the health of your entire family, but let's talk about your kids right now, because if you've got kids that are returning to school and they've got school-based physicals that they have to go through, sports-related physicals and all of that, the place to go is Graceoint Healthcare. They can get you in and out jiffy quick without having to worry and without having to wait. That's one of the big aspects of Graceoint that I absolutely love. They understand your time's valuable. So when you make a call and you're sick, right, you don't want to wait for a week and a half to go to the doctor. You're sick today. Well, they'll get you in today or tomorrow in most cases. Secondarily, when you get to the doctor's office, you shouldn't have to wait there either. I mean, why are we waiting for an hour? I mean, our appointment's at 2 o'clock and you wait till 3:15. That's not the way to get things done. They don't do that at Graceoint Healthcare. They get you in, they get you out, and they take care of what ails you without interference with the insurance company. Ask about the Smart Care plan when you make the call to Graceoint that so many others have made. 599-6868, 599-6868. Graceoint Healthcare. Modern medicine delivered the old-fashioned way.
tracking the flash flood watch and severe storm threat all weekend long here in Middle Tennessee, and now at least 31 states, including Tennessee, dealing with this parasitic disease that causes explosive diarrhea. That's coming up at 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. 26 minutes after the hour with our friend Jay St. Clair. It's Friday. Get him in here on the Super Text line. If you've got any legal question of any matter, give us a call, 615-737-9986, or you can text us on the Super Text line, 615-737-9986, and we'll get to your legal questions moments from now. You know, Jay, I don't know that we've ever specifically talked about this. I've never really I never did a deep dive into Perry Mason for some reason. I don't know if that was just a byproduct of it not. You know, a lot of the shows that I experienced when I was a kid was because they were on TBS, right?
Right.
And, Andy, Beverly Hillbillies was on loop, Gilligan's Island, but I never got Perry Mason.
Yeah, no, it was probably not in sync with it.
Right.
You know, most of it was made in the 50s. They had a long run. I don't think I watched it on the first run, but I probably watched it on reruns before. Well, it had to be before cable.
Yeah.
And so they were immediately starting to rerun it. And it was great. It won a lot of Emmys.
Mm-hmm.
And I must say, I rarely watch legal stuff on TV because it's just not very accurate.
Right.
This is the most accurate lawyer or courtroom production that I've seen. The objections are all genuine and are the kind of objections lawyers would make. And the rulings are almost always right. So they had really good technical consultants on it, and it's just really good lawyering. It's fascinating, and that's I didn't have any lawyers in my family. Never been around lawyers. That's the only lawyer I knew was Perry Mason.
Did
I just loved what he did.
Did Perry ever lose?
I think, and somebody will find this, but I do think there was one show where he lost, but there's this real odd circumstance that he was supposed to lose, or it was the right result,
right?
But they did it, I guess, just because nobody bats 1,000, or I don't know. I'll look at that the next break.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very clever how they do it, Matt, because somebody always confesses,
and
it's a surprise. There's no way, because I'm sitting there trying to figure out who did it. And then I pretty quickly figured out, well, you can't, because it's just coming out of left field. Although a few times I get it. But it's just good. And I like it when they break down on the witness stand. But a lot of times they're out in the audience.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right. They stand up. I did it. Well, I texted you this morning. I thought of you this morning because I turned on the television and there's Barney talking about those giraffes, boy.
Oh, God. He was just a comic genius.
Master.
Absolutely. Yeah. Because that's a monologue.
Yeah.
And I forgot, I watched it recently. They would cut away from him to Andy, and then cut away from him to Opie, but they weren't saying anything.
Right.
And it was just Barney talking, and he's lathering him. He's upset about the dogs, right? He's worried about them, but he doesn't want to show that he's worried about them. And he just keeps getting more upset, and then he takes it out on the giraffes.
That's right, because he doesn't know where else to go. Giraffes are tall, so giraffes would be in trouble. Right. But the dogs, they're close to the ground, and
they look out for each other.
Not like
giraffes don't. No, giraffes don't look out for each other. Just running around looking out for number one, getting struck by lightning.
The giraffes are selfish.
Oh, they're selfish.
I guarantee you that half the audience that has seen this scene on the Andy Griffith Show, they're laughing along with us, and the other half's going, "What are those two old coots talking about?" That's fine. That's okay too. All right, Andy and Donna and William, your questions on the way with Jay St. Clair. It is 4:30 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. All of Middle Tennessee under threat of severe storms and flash flooding today and the entire weekend. Highest risk for severe weather here in Middle Tennessee will be tomorrow. It'll be a level 2 out of 5. Full forecast coming up in 5 minutes. So is traffic. At least 31 states, including Tennessee, are now reporting cases of the parasitic disease that health officials say leads to uncomfortable gastrointestinal symptoms. It's called Cyclosporiasis, and it's not entirely clear what the root cause is. But health officials believe it may be linked to contaminated fresh produce or water. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says normal methods of tracking the disease may not help.
Part of the issue is the lag time. When you get infected, it can be up to 2 weeks before you see symptoms. So it's hard for people to then backtrack and figure out where the source was. And also, if you look at other causes of food poisoning, such as E. coli, scientists can use a genetic fingerprint, such as DNA, to kind of track where the source may be coming from. That isn't the case with Cyclosporia. A previous outbreak in 2024 took a lot of investigative work to figure out that was from fresh parsley. And that is currently what public health officials are trying to do in this exact moment.
Yeah, the outbreak has at least one fast food chain, Taco Bell, pulling tomatoes, lettuce, cilantro, and raw onions from its menu in hard-hit Michigan. And the disease is treatable with antibiotics, but gone untreated, symptoms can last for weeks. CBS News says a landmark affordable housing package appears headed for enactment, despite President Trump's refusal to sign it. The president is protesting the Senate's failure to pass his preferred election legislation known as the Save America Act. But sources tell CBS News Trump is not expected to veto the housing measure. That means the bill, designed to increase housing supply and improve affordability, can become law without his signature. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we've got the usual stop-and-go brake tapping in the usual places, and we've got crashes. Donaldson, Lebanon Pike, just west of Donaldson Pike. Belmont, Wedgwood Avenue at 65. West End, a crash. They're at West End Avenue, 31st Avenue. And let's see, Murfreesboro Pike at Donaldson Pike over there by the airport. I'm Ken Weaver.
Boy, oh boy. I got to talk to y'all about Perry Mason in a minute with my good friend Jay St. Clair. We're doing that in a second because you guys have come through on the facts. I bet Jay's looking this up as we speak as well. But before we do any of that, let's talk about the foundation of your home. Let's talk about that rock-solid foundation that is USS, United Structural Systems. They make sure that foundation is everything that it needs to be. USS is not just another repair company. They're a Tennessee company, right? They're local. They're your local foundation of waterproofing experts. They understand soil in Tennessee. They understand the weather in Tennessee and how homes behave. They've been trusted since 1994. That's important. Over 30,000, count them out, 30,000 satisfied homeowners have trusted USS. That experience means they've seen just about every imaginable type of issue, and they understand what the signs mean. So when you get them to your home, you're getting qualified, trusted Tennessee experts in terms of the foundation of your home, waterproofing, as well as the crawl space items that they do. Free home inspection, USSTN.com. That's USSTN.com. Problem solvers, experienced, local. If you have any issue whatsoever with your home, solve that issue with one call to USS. Supertalk 99.7 WTN. It's 4:38. As promised, we'll get to your calls and your questions from the Super Text line coming up with Fry J. Jay Sinclair is our man. Jay, I've had a lot of wonderful compliments about this segment, and it's all due to you, and I so appreciate you doing this on a weekly basis. I know we're good friends, but you don't have to do this, and you do, and I appreciate it. I really do.
Well, it's my pleasure, Matt. You know that.
We've had a lot of compliments over the years, but we might have had our best compliment ever that just came in on the Super Text line.
Wow.
Yeah. And it is as follows. I was on a call with my boss, and I told my boss he had to hurry up. I have to go because I'm missing Fry J. I was like, whoa.
Oh, that is so good.
We're getting folk fired out there, I think, Jay.
Well, if that happens, so tell him he's got a lawyer.
Yeah, if his boss lets him go, he's got some representation. Jay, I don't know what to think about this Perry Mason thing. I'm a little.
Well, I see now there was actually 3 cases.
3 cases.
But he ended up fixing them.
That's what I'm going.
And that reminds me, I have said this. I've tried a lot of cases over the years. I wish I'd been smart enough to count somewhere between 30 and 50 cases. And I've always said, Matt, that the right result was reached in all of them except one. And when I say the right result, I won the cases I was supposed to win, lost the cases I was supposed to lose, except one.
Uh-huh.
But I fixed that one in the United States Supreme Court.
Wow. That's...
So just like Perry Mason, just because you lose in the first quarter, well, that's not the end of the game.
Mm-hmm. So the 3, just to pull the curtain back for those wondering, the 3 cases are the case of the terrified typist
from
1959, the case of the witless witness, 1963, and the case of the deadly verdict, also in 1963. Yeah. And in all 3 cases, Perry initially lost the case, but then I guess he discovered the truth and exonerated the typist in the first one, uncovered the frame up and freed his client in the second one, and freed his client in the third one. So, they came out all right.
Undefeated.
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 I like that line. That's good. That you all but one, and you took care of that in the United States Supreme Court.
I fixed that one in the United States Supreme Court.
All right, let's talk to Andy. Well, I don't know where Andy is, but he's on with Fry J. Hey, Andy, what's up?
Hey, gentlemen. Thank you, Mr. Sinclair, and both of you for the opportunity. I'm in Winchester, Tennessee.
Oh, yes, sir. That's
nice.
That's beautiful country down there.
It's God's country, you betcha. My sister and I have joint power of attorney, both individually and separately, for my mother, who lives in an assisted living situation in Kentucky. My sister lives in northern Kentucky. We have split the responsibilities. My sister takes care of the medical duties, and I take care of all the financial duties, and my father is deceased. I'm trying to get mother's finances. She has a sizable amount of money, under $1 million, but close. And right. I'm trying to get the beneficiary situation so that in the event something happened with mother, and God bless her, she's doing very well. But we have a situation where in the will, and thank you, Dad, for having all this set up, he had the will set up where all of the children were to get 1/6 of the total estate. In the event of the death of one of the children, which I have a sister who passed away, the money was supposed to go to her children, so she has 2. Right. My problem is the money that we have in the bank, which I keep a sizable amount because her living expenses are fairly expensive. I have that money in a credit union that my dad had, but they cannot separate up the dependents. Mm-hmm. So I wanted to move that money into the bank that I deal with down here in Winchester. Right. They will not honor the power of attorney document for me. They can do the split the way I want, 6% and then 12%. Right. So they can do that, but they want my sister to have to drive all the way down here and be present for the signing. They will not honor the power of attorney document. And so that's going to put an undue burden on her. It's a 4-hour drive. Right. So what are my alternatives here.
Well, so let me understand this. You say y'all have kind of shared power of attorney. I would really need to look at the documents, Andy. But so does your power of attorney give you the authority over financial matters, including bank accounts?
Yes, it does. The specific language in it says that either one of us can operate in any way as an agent for Mother, both separately and together.
Wow. So
it does say that, yeah.
The power of attorney gives you the power to do that. The bank is just being ultra cautious. What I would do is it's the bank that you're trying to move the money to that's objecting, or is it the bank where the money is now?
The bank I'm trying to move it to.
What I would do is just talk to them and say, look, you've shown them the power of attorney. It clearly gives you the authority to do that. And just ask them, tell me how I can satisfy you. It's going to be very inconvenient for my sister to make this trip. How about if we do a Zoom call? And then
yes, sir. I tried that, and they said no. She must be present here. And then they have a place in. It's I think Murfreesboro, but that's not going to be something that we can.
Well, if they're going to be that obstinate about it, I mean, I think you've really only got two choices here, Andy. One is your sister's just going to have to make the trip. And you just got to do what the bank says. So, or number two, and this may be a better option, is go to a different bank.
I was about to say.
Yeah.
I mean, how long have you banked with this location?
About 8 years.
8 years. Well, I mean, Jay, tell me if I'm wrong, if I'm off the mark here. You kind of answered it as, would it be an option to say, listen, guys, I don't want to do this, but if I have to go to another bank, I'm just going to take all of my business to another bank.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Yeah, I think that's good advice.
Yep. No, that's just it. The bank's being obstinate. Well, they're not being obstinate. They're being overly cautious. They probably got some lawyer telling them, hey, we better get that other lady to sign it because she may sue us. And they're just, lawyers are really good at saying no, Andy. And so, I would just say to the bank, look, I've enjoyed doing business with y'all. I want to keep doing it for the rest of my life. But if y'all won't do this, then I think I'm just going to have to go to a different bank and take my business with it. Surely there's some way. Surely there's some way to satisfy you. Let's do a Zoom call. I'll get her to sign an affidavit saying that she's in agreement with this. Surely there is some way. They're just trying to protect themselves, Andy. I mean, they want the business, right? The odd part is they're turning down business. Mm-hmm. And so I would just say to them, look, whatever you want, Zoom call, affidavit, anything other than her having to come down here in person. But if she's going to have to come down here, if she's got to come down here in person, then I guess I'm just going to have to take my business elsewhere.
I appreciate that. I will try that, and I'll add to the compliments for this segment. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you. And Andy, I mean, and one thing maybe you could try. Oh, and I premature caller ejection there, Andy. I apologize, but one thing he could try: go to another bank. Before you go to another bank and say, hey, this is what I want to do. Are you going to be able to do that? And, it would make sense that if the bank says, yeah, then you got a little power to go back to the first bank and say, hey, I talked to these other guys and, they're going to do it. They're going to do it.
You get one last chance, or otherwise you're losing my business.
Yeah. When they see money walking out of the door, sometimes they can loosen up some of those rules. Right. William is next on Friday. Hello, William. Good afternoon.
Hey, gang, I appreciate your segment, too. You guys rock.
Thank you.
I got a situation, man. President Trump, God bless him, and I vote for him, he got Act number 305, He got marijuana rescheduled to Schedule 3. And yet, I've got my oncologist who has basically ejected me out of his clinic because I have THC in my system, and they prescribe me, pain medication. Does that not butt up against my legal and health advocacy, as a self-patient rights advocate, with grounds standing, on constitutional grounds, if this comes up against, our current administration or future whatsoever? I'm a cancer patient, twice survivor.
Matt, I really couldn't understand what he was saying.
Yeah, I'm a little
Can you
confused. No, I get it. So, William, are you saying you went to the doctor and your doctor found THC in your system?
Yes, sir.
And what are they trying to do?
They're basically ejecting me out of the clinic because they want me in a pain clinic, and I can't get in a pain clinic because I've got that in my system.
Well, William, that doctor is not required to treat you.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, if he doesn't want you as a patient,
I'd just go to another doctor, William, if you can.
Yeah, he has the right to refuse to treat anybody that he doesn't want to treat.
And I think we lost William there on the phone. We had a little bit of a bad connection. But, William, I mean, Jay, tell me if I'm wrong, but go to another doctor.
Right. Well, that's your only choice.
Yeah, and let them know. Jamie is next up on Friday. Hello, Jamie. Welcome in.
Thank you. Okay, so telemarketers. I am getting bombarded with telemarketing calls. I got 92 phone calls one day.
Yes, what? 92? Did you say 92?
Yes,
good gracious.
92 phone calls. Now, I have found out who they are. I have their service address. How do I go about having them served? What do I need to do?
Yeah, I hadn't looked at it in a while, Jamie. Go on the internet, and I'll do this maybe during the break, but there are do not call lists, and there's registers that you can get on. And so you need to get yourself listed on those. And then listed. Okay, and then if they keep violating your rights, then you got legal claims against them.
Yes, and I have informed them several times that I'm on the state and federal do not call list.
Right.
However, they continue to call. They'll hang up and call me right back.
Yeah, well, then they're breaking the law, Jamie. And I hadn't looked at that in a while. So let me, maybe during the break, I'll see what the process is for going forward with that. And then keep listing, keep listing, and I'll give it.
Jamie, are you able to listen on the air?
Yes.
Okay, so we've got a break coming up right now. You keep listening, and Jay will get it to you on the other side. All right?
Hey, Jamie, before you go, I love to guess where people grew up based on their accents. I am confident you did not grow up in Middle Tennessee. I think you grew up in the Midwest.
I did.
Did you really?
Nashville. Yes, I was born in Nashville and grew up around Cookville.
Well, it just goes to show you.
I want to hear you say fixing to.
Fixing to.
You still don't sound like Middle Tennessee to me.
Oh, yeah. Well, my mom, she didn't want me to sound like that.
See, it's always something. Jamie, keep listening, and Jay will get to the bottom of it in just a moment. That's Friday. We've got one more segment to go on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. I don't know if y'all have noticed or not, but it's kind of hot outside, and it's just going to continue to be hot outside with those steamy afternoon thunderstorms, and then it's all humid and the humidity and the heat and the heat and the humidity. Well, what do you do about it? If your AC's not working properly, it can be miserable. Now, if the AC's working great, you're like, oh, I'm all good, Murph. I'm inside the house. You probably already had Jeff Eddy and Efficient Heating and Cooling come out to your home. But if you've not, and the AC's not working right, what are you waiting on? It doesn't cost a lot of money. A maintenance call is $125 or less in their service area with Efficient Heating and Cooling. They don't believe in charging you all this money just to get your AC running back right. Now, if there's a significant issue, then that might be a more detailed process, and obviously they're going to get out, they're going to diagnose the situation. But here's the deal. Their first goal is to fix what ails your system. They don't default to, let's put a new unit in there, because that costs you a lot of money. So they're going to fix that system, and only if they cannot, only if you've run and exhausted the life of the unit, will they give you your options to replace. And when it comes time, they're an Elite Pro partner with Rheem, and they can recommend the right unit for you. They did it for me and my family down in Mount Pleasant, and they can do it for yours. Give Efficient HVAC a call today at 615-784-4424, 784-4424, or online at efficienthvac.net.
All of Middle Tennessee under threat of flooding and low risk of severe weather today and the entire weekend. And we've got the latest on that parasitic disease that is now impacting people in 31 states in Tennessee. All that and more coming up at 5 on Super Talk 99.7 WTN.
You put the words explosive and diarrhea together, and you've got my attention. I never thought we'd be talking about the lettuce at Taco Bell creating the explosive diarrhea dynamic, though. But, that's just me, maybe. Hey, a few more moments with Fry Jay. Jerry, we'll get to you if we possibly can. Jay, did you get any additional info for our caller, Jamie?
I did, Jamie. Two things. First of all, you can report these violators at donotcall.gov. Now, they're not going to take immediate action, but that's just what you can do. But the better thing is there's a lot of software programs out there now, or apps, that are a lot better at screening these kind of spam calls. And so I would do this. Go to ctia.org, O-R-G, and that will take you to some links for the spam filters for your particular cell phone provider. So that's probably going to be your best recourse, is to get the best kind of spam filter on your phone that you can.
Wow.
But you can also report them to donotcall.gov, but don't expect immediate action. And let me say the other thing, and I've learned this too, if you get a spam call, don't answer it. Just let it ring.
Yeah.
Because then they confirmed you're a real telephone number.
Right.
And I get a lot of spam calls too, and I used to would block it. Don't even block it, because you don't want to get any ping back.
Mm-hmm.
Just ignore it, and eventually they'll leave you alone.
Mm. I get occasionally I'll get a human being on the phone, and I'll just like to talk to them as long as I possibly can.
Yeah. Or say, if they ask you your name, this is Jay Sinclair with the United States Attorney's Office. How can I help you? Or hang up.
This is clawed balls, is what I say normally.
Yeah.
Tell Jay thank you. I reached out to him not quite a year ago, needing an attorney, called who he recommended, and it turned out perfect for my situation. Thank you so much. So that's great news, Jay. That's from the Super Text line. And then I'll leave you with this, Jay. 3888 writes in and says, Jay, I appreciate y'all's conversation about Perry Mason. I was devastated when I learned that Perry killed his wife in Rear Window. That's pretty funny, Jay. That's pretty funny. Yeah, see, I knew you.
Wow, but Jimmy Stewart was so good in that movie.
He was good. And,
he was great.
Oh, well, Perry Mason was good. That Raven Burr was great in that movie. You. I got to run. Love you, brother. See you.
Love you, man.
Sorry about that, Jerry. We'll get to your call next week, perhaps. We've got Gloria Giorno coming up next to talk to us about the Reagan Society and a big event later on this month. That's on the way next.
Five o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, and everyone in Middle Tennessee is under threat of flooding and the low risk of severe weather today and the entire weekend. In fact, the highest risk for severe weather will be tomorrow. That'll be a level 2 out of 5. Full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. At least 31 states, including Tennessee, now reporting cases of the parasitic disease that health officials say leads to uncomfortable gastrointestinal symptoms. It's called Cyclosporiasis. It's not entirely clear what the root cause is, but health officials believe it may be linked to contaminated fresh produce or water. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says if untreated, symptoms can last weeks.
These symptoms can really last a long time. Fortunately, this can be treated with an antibiotic if you do get symptoms and you go to a doctor and you get tested. But still, this is very painful for the people who have been experiencing, including several reports of those who have had symptoms for a prolonged period of time.
The outbreak has at least one fast food chain, Taco Bell, pulling tomatoes, lettuce, cilantro, and raw onions from its menu in hard-hit Michigan. And again, the disease is treatable with antibiotics, but gone untreated, it'll last for weeks. CBS News says a landmark affordable housing package appears headed for enactment despite President Trump's refusal to sign it. The president is protesting the Senate's failure to pass the Save America Act, but sources tell CBS News Trump is not expected to veto the housing measure. That means the bill, designed to increase housing supply and improve affordability, can become law without his signature. And the Pentagon has released 40 new UFO or unidentified anomalous phenomena files from agencies like NASA, the CIA, FBI, and Department of Energy. Among them is a report from a military aviator who said an object he observed in 2019 had flight characteristics unlike anything he had seen in 28 years of service. Another report describes a silent, unidentified object spotted near the Pantex nuclear weapons facility in Texas in 2015. Officials say more UAP-related records will be released in the coming months. Cannabis mom videos go viral. Addiction experts are weighing in. ABC News chief medical correspondent Dr. Tara Narula spoke to one of the so-called garden moms.
We're using this as a tool.
Texas mom of two and content creator Rachel Gibbs says cannabis doesn't check her out of motherhood, but rather helps her to check in and quiet the static in her head. And she says its impact on parenting her 3- and 5-year-old kids has been tremendous.
I can get down on their level. I have more patience. It's calmed the nerves down.
Videos tagged by so-called canna moms or garden moms have racked up millions of views across social media. Addiction specialists suggest it shouldn't be thought of as a harmless alternative to alcohol.
That's the latest news, traffic, and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. We've got debris in the lane. This is going to be Cool Springs. It is blocking the right lane, 65 southbound at Moore's Lane there, exit 69. In Lebanon, a stalled vehicle on the right shoulder, 40 eastbound before 840. Donaldson, a crash, Lebanon Pike west of Donaldson Pike. And then 12 south, the road is blocked due to a stalled vehicle. That's going to be 12th Avenue southbound between Ashwood and Beechwood Avenue. And then over by the airport, a crash reported Murfreesboro Pike at Donaldson Pike. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. This is the Matt Murphy Radio Show. It's a First Amendment Freestyle Friday edition, so get your calls in here, any subject of your choosing. We'll take all comers, 615-737-9986. Y'all know I love turning a monologue into a dialogue or a dialogue into a trilogue if there's two of you. We'll get back to your calls momentarily. We've got Ninkapoos in the News, a favored segment of the Matt Murphy Radio Show coming up at about 5:35 this afternoon. And then 6 o'clock hour, we'll talk some politics. I'll go over where we are on the Iranian situation. We'll also talk local politics with regard to the data center. And I still have an update on the Memphis deal. A lot of money being wasted over in Memphis. We shall discuss that as well in the 6 o'clock hour with you on the Matt Murphy Show. But right now, we welcome back to the show a good friend of ours, Gloria Giorno, who joins us in studio to talk about an event that I am honored to be a part of that's coming up later on this month. It's a part of the Reagan Society. And here to speak on all of these things is Gloria. What's going on? How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
It's nice to see you again. I'm sorry about you. You mentioned you had a little spot of laryngitis, but you getting better?
Getting better, yeah. But pollen's killing me, but I'm getting better, yeah.
It is, I mean, this is, my grandpa, I've been saying this a lot. I don't know why it's on my mind so much, but my grandpa used to call this in political, this is cotton picking season, meaning, there's a time for plowing, there's a time for planting, and there's a time for fertilizing, and then there's a time for picking cotton. He was a farmer from way back. And in political terms, we're less than a month out. We're here. I bet you're getting inundated with candidates and all those sorts of things.
Yes, I am. As a matter of fact, I am just sitting back like everyone else and waiting to see if there's going to be a debate, if there's not going to be a debate, see what's going on. It's kind of interesting. I mean, it's just... Yes, it just also happens that the election is on my birthday, so it makes it even more interesting.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, well, happy birthday. Happy early birthday. I'm excited about our event. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited that we were able to get it reset and rescheduled. For those who perhaps have missed us talking about it in the past or missed me discussing it, tell us all about this. Well, let's start at the beginning. Mm-hmm. Tell us about the Reagan Society and your decision to start the organization.
The Reagan Society I started about a year and a half ago, almost 2 years now, because I wanted to make politics affordable to everyone. I think it's great that people get to spend $250,000 to shake somebody's hand like J.D. Vance's hand, but most voters cannot afford that. And in order to keep everyone engaged in the political conversation, we need to make things affordable and we need to make it interesting for them to want to come. And it really worries me that we have a communist jihadist who was elected overwhelmingly as the mayor of New York City 25 years after 9/11. Mm-hmm. And it's mostly young women that voted for him. So I don't want that to happen in Tennessee. So the Reagan Society came about after I lost a nonprofit to the Biden regime because it was a conservative nonprofit and I was an elected delegate at large for President Trump. And then I served on platform and boom, I'm a politician and I'm really not. So I started the Reagan Society as an LLC so that I can actually do whatever it is I want to do in a free country of America. And Tom Homan was my very first speaker. And I brought him here to Tennessee and 350 people got to hear Tom speak for $25 and $50.
Nice.
So that was the motivation. I want everyone to be a part of a conversation. I never want politics to just be for those who can afford high-ticket items. I want it to be equal for everyone because everybody votes.
Yeah.
And we're trying to get, I think we had 19% of people in Tennessee vote last time around. We need more people to come to the polls. So if we can engage them in conversation, like on July 26th with Nick Shirley, they'll be able to feel like they belong. And the left does a great job of branding and marketing. We don't do that as conservatives, but we need to start. So this is my way of starting. And I think we've been doing a pretty good job. We really, really have. I mean, Tom kicked us off and we've been going ever since.
Well, I love the selection of Nick Shirley for a number of reasons. Number one, you mentioned engagement, right? Mm-hmm. And I guess it's a part of the natural order of things. You know, the old quote, it's attributed to Winston Churchill when I was under 30, or anyone under 30 and conservative doesn't have a heart, and anyone over 30 and liberal doesn't have a brain, right? Yeah. And, I get it. When I was in college, I was idealistic and young, skull full of mush and liberal. And my liberalism eventually morphed into libertarianism, and here we are. we don't get the younger generation as much as sometimes the leftists capture them. And Nick Shirley's an opportunity because he is a part of the younger generation, and he sees very clear-eyed what's going on in front of us. And I think it's an opportunity to attract some of those younger folks, particularly, as you mentioned, with the price point, to get them in and get them engaged.
I agree. And I think Nick appeals to a wide range. He does appeal to young people. He went to high school and he started, filming, just taking his phone, his iPhone, and just going to places that he knew that something illegal was going on. He's gone to places where mainstream media and even our government won't go to. And Nick is exposing all that. I mean, there is no fear factor for Nick. And I think that also is a good thing because a lot of people are afraid to say they're conservative. They are afraid to have that label with them because they will be, shunned in college. They will be, asked to leave a room, I've lost a lot of friends. I've lost family members. It's just how it goes. But I will never give up on being a conservative. And yes, I've been a Republican all my life. I was a conservative before conservatism even existed because of my parents and living in a communist country. But I think Nick will be able to appeal to absolutely everyone. So we're really excited about having everyone come. It's going to be in Franklin, Tennessee, and we're excited about everyone being able to attend. And yes, the price point is $50 and $100. We need a lot of security. Unfortunately, we live in a place we live in hell right now, where people who speak out are under fire. I mean, I listened to President Trump today and yesterday talking about what's going on with him and how
he is target number one.
Yes, he is.
For the greatest sponsor of terrorism around the globe. And it's a serious deal.
It's absolutely horrible. And Nick is also one of those people. So we have to be very careful with him. So unfortunately, the price point is $50 and $100, but still at $50, it's well worth it. Where else are you going to be within 30 feet of someone like Nick Shirley?
And for those, how do you describe when you're out and about? And we're talking to Gloria Giorno, of course, with the Reagan Society. But when you're out and about, I mean, Nick Shirley, with what we do, obviously, we're well familiar with what he was able to expose. But I mean, let me tell you that it's wonderful to see. I mean, he reminds me a little bit of James O'Keefe back in the day when O'Keefe first started off, where he's willing to go places where the journalist won't go anymore. He's willing to investigate the things that the so-called journalist won't investigate anymore. And he's exposing these folks in real time. It's been wonderful to watch his ability. And it's just quite simply his tenacity and his willingness to go there and ask the questions that the mainstream media won't ask.
He's like Charlie Kirk. There is no fear in him. He's like Charlie, and he wants to do good for our country. I mean, he's a true patriot. He really wants to do good. And I think he's a great example for young people of don't give up. Just because everybody else at your school is a liberal, it does not mean you have to be a liberal too. Just stay the path, and it will be rewarding at the end of the day. I mean, God will shine upon you if you speak the truth. But unfortunately, mainstream media and a lot of our government workers, they'd rather get paid, they'd rather make the big bucks instead of actually exposing the truth of what's going on in our country today.
So on the particulars of the event, it's a Sunday afternoon, and we're not announcing specifics of where the location is, and that's one of those security concerns. But tell everyone how the process works.
Well, you can get tickets at thereagansociety.com, and they're through Eventbrite, and you can get a ticket there. And the night before, you will get an email telling you exactly where to go. And that
it'll
is
be
for
in
security.
Franklin.
It's in Franklin. It's in Cool Springs, yes.
So.
And it starts, doors open at 1:00, and general admission is, you seat wherever you find, and you can VIP so that you can be closer to the stage. And we do also offer a picture with Nick. If you'd like a picture with Nick, we have that as well. So, I mean, he's very accessible, and we will be having a very interactive time. While you will be doing the interview, Nick will also be taking questions from the audience. So I will be walking around and taking audience questions for you as well. So we are trying to make it very interactive so everyone can be a part of it.
And listen, I would love nothing more, and Gloria was so generous enough to invite me to be a part of the event, just to kind of, I look at myself as more of a moderator than anything. I'd love nothing more than for me to say hello and ask and let the audience ask just about every one of the questions, because I know that oftentimes it is the case that the audience comes up with far more interesting questions than even I would. But it's a great chance to interact and figure out how he does his how he does what he does, his investigative journalism, and what's next on the horizon. I mean, Minneapolis blew up in a way, Minnesota blew up in a way where the mainstream media couldn't ignore it. They're trying to ignore some of his other work. They're trying to pigeonhole him into the kind of the O'Keefe or Charlie Kirk, the way that they did those guys. And we're not going to allow that to happen because this is important work exposing the fraud and abuse that Democrats have allowed to go on for so long.
And if we don't expose it now, it's going to continue because, we have got to expose this. We have got to get people to vote. We have a midterms coming up. And if we do not do well in the midterms, how are we going to help our president? He's going to be a lame duck. We're going to go after him again. We're not going to get anything accomplished. So this is not just about having Nick Shirley here. This is about getting people to understand what it is that Nick's doing and inspire them to actually go vote in the midterm elections and help our president and save our country. It's do or die time.
And you got State Senator Brent Taylor helping us out.
Yes, we do.
With the event.
Yes, we do. Senator Taylor has been a great sponsor and a great friend to the Reagan Society, so he will be there as well. And we also have Craig Campbell, who will be doing the national anthem a cappella, and we're really excited about that.
Well, it's going to be a wonderful time, and I hope you can join us Sunday afternoon, 1:00. I guess doors are opening again.
Yes.
And once again, how can folks get more information?
They can get more information at thereagansociety.com. We're also on Facebook and Instagram. We're everywhere. So you can find us. If you want to, you can find us. It's through Eventbrite. And we're really excited. We're very, very excited. Food, is there for purchase, food and drink. So you can meet up with your friends. There's time for networking. So you can meet like-minded individuals. And I think that's very important as well. And
Gloria was just telling me, based on the size of the facility, we're well on our way to filling up. Yeah. So what I would encourage you to do, I'm not, if you don't know what you're doing a couple of weekends from now, that's one thing. But if you know you're going to be in town, go ahead and get the tickets. If you know you're going to go ahead and grab them at thereagansociety.com. That's thereagansociety.com. Grab them because I don't want you to miss out. Obviously there's a finite amount of space. Yes. We're indoors. So when the tickets run out, they run out. And, I wouldn't want you to be outside going, I want to get in. Right. So
too late. Sorry.
That's right. That's what
we don't want you to miss it, though. Yep.
But we're going to have a good time. I promise you. It's once again not, I guess it's, 16 days from now? Just a little over 2 weeks from Sunday.
Yes, that's correct. Yes.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Anything else we need to know about the event?
Not about the event, but the Reagan Society is always looking for, we do have an offer of, we're always looking for people who would like to have a private dinner as well with Nick. We offer that as well after the more public event. And if they want that, they can always go to the Reagan Society, go to the Ask page, and they will get to me and I will answer them. But yes, we do also do a private dinner with him if you want to have one-on-one time and have a very private conversation.
When are you going to come back and talk about the book that's coming out in the fall?
As soon as I get closer to getting it done, I would say probably after the election.
Any hint on what the nature of the book is? Can you give us a little preview?
Yes, I want to talk about the difference between communism and capitalism, because right now we are dealing with young people and people who are lower, they're middle class. Communism is trying to destroy the middle class. What people don't understand is that free stuff does not equal freedom. If you give in to communism, you're giving up your Second Amendment right. You're giving up your freedom of speech. You will no longer be able to go to church. You will no longer be able to worship God publicly. You will no longer have any control over your destiny. You will be told what you will be doing for your entire life, and that is it. But young people see the free insurance, the free schooling, free everything.
Yeah, that's the sell, right?
That's exactly.
That's what they do.
You're giving up so much more than you will ever gain. And you will never be able to get out of it. Communism is the only form of government where you can shoot your way in, but you can't shoot your way out. Your arms are gone. That's it. You've given up everything. And there's nobody trying to get into a communist country, but everybody's trying to come to America.
Does it surprise you the number of younger? I guess we have to fight against it constantly, but I've never seen anything like it. You mentioned Mamdani in New York, Seattle, Washington, Portland, Oregon. Chicago. I mean, Brandon Johnson was one. I mean, right? I mean, he is. I mean,
he's a communist.
He's a communist. He can claim whatever he wants to claim.
He's a socialist because he thinks that sounds prettier. It doesn't.
Right,
It's not
right.
sexy to be a socialist. It's the same thing as a communist.
And I mean, does it not shock you that this? I mean, I know it's been a slow walk toward convincing younger minds but it feels like it's popping out overnight. Like we know that they've been hiding it for a long time, but now they're just saying it out loud.
I don't think it's been so slow in coming, but that's because I come from a blue state. So it has not been that slow.
Mm-hmm.
My mom went to the University of Chicago. She got her master's and her PhD there. She spoke 9 languages. She was a professor. And this is 1973. She got her PhD. In 1984, I graduated from high school, was going into college. I did get accepted to the University of Chicago. I also got into UCLA. My parents refused to let me go because they said those were already liberal organizations. So people knew, people from other countries, people I talked to that have come here from other countries, and people who have experienced other countries, we know. So it's not slow. And I do feel that COVID, as bad as it was, as crazy of stuff they had us do, I do think it exposed so much and it opened so many people's eyes. But I do feel strongly that young people are the ones who don't understand that, yes, interest rates may be 6% right now, but I'll tell you, in 1988, when I bought my first house and my credit was over 800 and I had half to put down, I can tell you my interest rate was 14%.
Nah.
So, I mean, when you're telling me you got 6 to 7% now, you got nothing. And I realize that houses probably they do cost more now. They do. However, salaries have not increased at the same rate as homes, cars, and whatnot. So, no, you do not want free stuff. You want to work. Capitalism is the way we need to keep our country. But unfortunately, yeah, we've got women, 70% of women between the ages of 18 and 40 elected a communist jihadist. And they're going to do it in every big city. I mean, Freddie O'Connell, what do you think of him?
Feckless. It's the word that comes to my mind.
But
Feckless.
He's a communist too.
I mean, I don't know that I would call Freddie a communist. And because I think the word, it matters and the word means something, but he is certainly, he's a big government leftist, borderline socialist. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I mean, in Nashville, you're going to reap what you sow.
You are.
And he's trying to play he's trying to play his business bona fides because he's trying to get reelected next year.
That's exactly true. But I mean, no, we need to clean house throughout the country, but we do need to have more organizations like the Reagan Society so that we can bring people together, not people who are uber wealthy, but people who actually vote, people who actually go to the polls. We have to incentivize them to go and vote. And if we show them the difference between communism and capitalism, they will go vote. Nobody wants communism. They just don't understand what it is, and they hear free, and then they take it.
$50 get-in ticket to an afternoon with Nick Shirley from the Reagan Society. I'll be there. Craig Campbell will be there. Gloria will be there, of course. Senator Brent Taylor will be there. And we hope to, and I promise you, there's going to be a lot of other political figures and, local folks that are going to be in attendance as well. And we would love to see you as well. That's the 26th of this month. Doors are opening at 1 o'clock. And once again, location will be announced about 24 hours prior to the event. Gloria, it's always a pleasure to see you. I hope the laryngitis gets a little bit better for you.
So do I. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
You sound great. As Gloria Giorno of the Reagan Society. We'll be back in a moment, 25 after the hour. Friends, my story with King & Associates, it's one that you've probably heard quite often because I tell the story quite often on the radio, but it's not unique. It happens every day with King & Associates. I call up Emery and I say, hey, Emery, got a new home, need some homeowner's insurance. Emery says, let me bundle your auto and I'm going to save you a lot of money. I was like, Emery, you're not going to save me money because I got such a sweetheart deal on my automobile insurance. There's no way. He goes, give me a crack at it. And so he calls me back a little bit later on and said, Murphy, I got the same great insurance, the same coverage, the same, everything the same with your automobile insurance, and I'm saving you almost $400 a year. I was like, whoa. Sign me up. And I got a great homeowners deal as well. Plus, they do life insurance. They do business insurance as well. Friends, they're your one-stop shop when it comes to insurance. King & Associates Insurance, they don't work for any of the big insurance companies. They work for you. That's the way it ought to be. Just honest advice, personalized service, and policies that make sense. How about that? Go to letter T, kinginsurance.com, kinginsurance.com, or call 329-8121. That's 329-8121. King & Associates Insurance, protecting what matters most.
.5:30 on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories, tracking the potential for severe storms and flash flooding today and the entire weekend. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. Right now in Middle Tennessee, police are asking for help locating Jordan Termaine Barbie, who's wanted following a violent encounter with cops in Goodlettsville. Authorities say Barbie was driving a stolen black Jaguar XF when he allegedly used the vehicle to slam a patrol car and then get away. 2 officers were apparently hurt. The pursuit then continued toward Madison, but he was able to get away. Officers believe Barbie may be armed with a handgun, should be considered dangerous. He is described as black, 5'7" tall, approximately 230 pounds. He has an extensive criminal history in Middle Tennessee, including active warrants in Robertson and Montgomery counties. At least 31 states, including Tennessee, are now reporting cases of the parasitic disease that health officials say lead to uncomfortable gastrointestinal symptoms. It's called Cyclosporiasis, and it's not entirely clear what the root cause is, but health officials believe it could be linked to contaminated fresh produce or water. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel says it's treated by antibiotics.
It just takes a small amount to infect people. It can be on contaminated fruits, vegetables, water that may be contaminated by human waste, people who were previously infected. And if you do ingest a parasite and get sick, it causes inflammation in your gut to the point where you can't absorb water or food. And this can cause, and I'm saying this scientifically, explosive watery diarrhea.
The outbreak has at least one fast food chain, Taco Bell, pulling tomatoes, lettuce, cilantro, and raw onions from its menu in hard-hit Michigan. And the pretrial hearings in the case of Tyler Robinson have concluded in Utah today. Robinson accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk. Prosecutors presented evidence to the public and the judge, including a video, interview with Robinson's former partner and roommate. We get more from ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer.
There's a lot of evidence being presented that you don't necessarily need to prove their case at this threshold. Namely, I would talk about the video with Twig, Tyler Robinson's romantic partner. We don't typically see those, but the prosecution is putting on a very strong case, I think not just for the judge, but also for the public to show what kind of evidence they have against Tyler Robinson.
Judge says he'll decide by September 1st if the case goes to trial. That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, I-40 eastbound off-ramp to Fessler's Lane. You've got the right lane blocked there. Police are talking to someone who was walking along the interstate there. In Lebanon, right shoulder block, 40 eastbound before I-840. Got a crash with injury. Bell Road, just east of Stewart's Ferry Pike. Another crash, McGavick Pike, west of Briley Parkway. Fessler's Lane at Elm Hill Pike. And then 12 South, you've got the roadblock due to a stalled vehicle, 12th Avenue southbound between Ashwood and Beechwood. I'm Ken Weaver.
Rainfall coming our way. Some storms could also produce some gusty winds, but flooding remains the big threat. Folks, I mean, we live in a dangerous world, right? We understand that. We see it on the news. People seem to be crazier than ever. You need to understand how to react. You need to understand what to do in the unlikely event that you find yourself in a life-threatening situation. And it can happen at any moment. And you never know when it's coming. That's why training is so important. That's why Brink Fiddler and Defense Systems, that's why they're so important. They're a life safety and security consultation firm. They're based right here in Middle Tennessee. They go over active shooter response, active shooter mitigation, workplace violence prevention, site survey, threat assessment, security improvement consultation, rapid response medical, all designed for your specific facility. But this isn't just for you. This is for your employees, your people, your staff, those that regularly visit your company. That's what it's all about, making sure that everybody knows what to do in the unlikely event that something like this happens to you. If you need more, give them a call and talk to Brink today at 615-236-6484, 236-6484, or online at defensesystems.com. Super Talk 99.7 WTN. The most controversial thing said during our conversation with Gloria Giorno of the Reagan Society was that I said I didn't think that Freddie was a communist. I don't. I think those words mean something. So there you go. 615-737-9986. 615-737-9986. John, we're getting to Ninkapoos in a second. John has been holding for a minute. Hey, John, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing, Matt?
I'm fabulous. John, what's on your mind?
Well, I was going to tell you about a little event up in Western Kentucky that sounds right up your alley. It's called a Fancy Farm Picnic, and they got about a 100-yard long smoker with some Kentucky whoop-ass barbecue and mutton. And on Friday, they have a fish fry. Woo!
This Friday, tonight?
No, that's the first day of August, and it's a political event where people be up there stomping from all over Kentucky, and they got food, they got raffling off cars, they got everything in the world going on. But when you go there and get you some mutton, now you done something.
I love a good mutton.
Yes, and I heard you talking about it the other day, and I don't know where to get it except there. It's a little Catholic parish, and they have the biggest one-day picnic in the world.
Wow.
It's in the Guinness Book of World Record. Look it up.
I'll do it, John.
Man, it's fun time.
When is this again?
That's August 1st. Couple hours up into Western Kentucky from here, and it's don't go on full stomach. Be sure you're hungry.
I'll take that under advisement, my friend. Thank you, John, for the call.
It's a good time. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it. Thanks, John. 615-737-9986. That's how we do First Amendment Freestyle Friday. First Amendment Freestyle Friday in progress on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Coming up after Ninkapoos, Mike from Old Hickory is going to talk about something or another. We don't really know what. And David wants to talk about diarrhea. Hey, that kind of goes together because Mike from Old Hickory has diarrhea of the mouth. It's time for Ninkapoos. See what I did there?
Ninkapoos in the news.
My grandma used to accuse me of having you know what your problem is? You got diarrhea of the mouth.
I did whenever I was trying to lie my way out of trouble.
Oh yeah, but you know what Ma used to tell me? Ma used to say when I was in a grumpy mood, Ken. You know what she would tell me?
What would she say?
You need to get your butt off your shoulders. That's what she would tell me. Speaking of butt on shoulders, there's young Jackson Williams, J. Willie Action Jackson, also known as Reaction Jackson. How do you react to that, Jackson?
It's just him taking his frustration out for not winning this week.
Well, I was out yesterday, so this week really doesn't count. It's my trophy.
No, it would stay with the past winner, who was once again me.
Me? Jeez.
Biscuit eater.
What is did y'all play yesterday?
We did. Yeah. I won.
And he won.
Isn't that 3? You won for this week?
This is an exhibition, boys. Yes.
Yeah. I think it might be my favorite thing when Jackson does Kid Weaver impersonation. That's pretty good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay, then fine. I'm feeling a lot of aggression from the other side of the room here.
We're not in the same room. You got a mouse in your pocket?
No, I'm feeling aggression. When I was in that room during the news, and you and I both looked at Ken Weaver during his newscast, you remember what Weaver did? He pointed to his hat.
Yeah.
Those
Sooners are coming for you.
Those Sooners ain't coming for anybody.
Don't talk like that.
Oh, yeah, let's talk like that. Jackson, talk like that.
They're going to whoop them.
Sooners going to whoop up on us.
John Mateer and that kicker they got with the shorty shorts.
They're going to show Athens what for, aren't they?
They are.
They're going to get between those hedges.
We're going to need that kicker.
They're going to strip some of those hedges off the sidelines and whoop our fannies with them.
What's that fella's name, Ken?
What is that kid's name?
Landon something?
Shorty. Shorty McShort Shorts.
Tate Sandell.
I hated that man.
We're going to need that. We're going to need that kid in Athens. We are definitely going to need that kid in Athens.
Well,
we're going to need him in Ann Arbor. We're going to need him in Austin. Well, actually in Dallas.
You're going to need him in Atlanta when you play the Vols.
If he keeps making kicks, Ken's like, come out in a Speedo. I don't care.
I don't.
Come out naked.
He can wear a dress.
Kickers used to kick with bare feet.
Yes.
I bet that hurt.
He could kick with a bare bottom.
Yes, sir.
Why did they kick with bare feet?
Better control.
You know, I don't know. Russell, his name was Russell Erxleben, I think, for Texas. And he was known as like a soccer player, but he would punt, and I believe he would kick barefooted. And man, he was good. Russell Erxleben, I believe, was his name.
Yeah, cleaner contact with the ball.
Okay. Is that what it is? Russell Erxleben?
Yeah, Erxleben.
It's a great name, by the way.
Erxleben.
Erxleben.
He was a longhorn.
Well, as they tend to be. I don't know. I don't know what that means. So what's the batting order today, Jackson?
You know, since it's an exhibition, I'm gonna do the diplomatic thing, and I'm gonna let Ken Weaver go first.
That's nice, Jackson, and I get to go next.
Nope. Williams second. What? Murphy up the rear.
It's unfortunate.
Weaver, you go right ahead.
All right, this here's out of Watertown, New York. Not Watertown, Tennessee, not where Brother Brian lives. This might be a bigger town than Watertown, Tennessee. But a North Carolina man was up to no good up there. He's facing a misdemeanor lewdness charge after an incident where Watertown police say 27-year-old Daniel Lee Stump was arrested for showing off his penis.
What? His name's Stump?
Yes, sir.
we call after he did this, they call him Lil Stump.
According to court paperwork, Stump is accused of knowingly and intentionally exposing his penis in a way that could be readily seen by others in the presence of a hotel employee. Stump faces a charge of lewdness with intent to be seen, which is a Class B misdemeanor up there in New York State. Police say Stump was taken to the public safety building.
What was it? What was the charge? What
did he do?
It's a charge of lewdness with intent to be seen.
Oh.
So he intended to be seen.
Well, I mean, that's kind of...
I don't think you're out there with... Never mind.
I mean, I guess maybe there's a lesser charge of lewdness without the intent to be seen.
Yeah, if you're hiding it.
Well, if you're just in the corner trying to go to the bathroom.
Right.
You know, if you're just trying to let go with the yellow flow, as they say.
This fella, apparently, there was no shame in his game. He just had it out there. And he is scheduled to appear in Watertown City Court July 20th at 9 a.m. That'll be Eastern time. So 8 o'clock Middle Tennessee time. I'll try to get an update on that.
Yeah, let's get an update on Lil Stump.
Yeah, Daniel Lee Stump.
Lil Stump.
Showing off his stuff.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I guess it's one of those reverse nicknames. Like they call big fellas tiny, you know?
Yes.
That's a good one. I would go next, but I wasn't allowed to. Jackson?
You ready?
Yes, we're ready. That's why I said your name. Oh, boy.
Hear ye, the king has quenched another week.
How many is this in a row, Jackson?
It's a lot. I don't know.
I think it's at least 3.
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4.
I think he's got it for a month.
I do too, Ken. I know you had it for one brief week. He had it for like 3 weeks in a row. Then you had it for 1 week. I haven't had it but twice this year.
I had it for January and February.
Twice this year I've had the trophy.
Dude, I think I've only had it once this year.
Good gracious.
Got to find these naked people.
We're gonna start calling this Jackson's Ninkapoos in the News.
Presented by the Wellness Institute of Nashville.
Yes, sir. Nice big trophy.
Go see Dr. Mitchell.
Senior allegedly wielded a chainsaw at people in Vancouver's West End, police say. A 67-year-old man was arrested after he allegedly wielded a chainsaw at people in Vancouver's West End neighborhood Wednesday, according to police. The Vancouver Police Department said officers arrested the senior after responding to an alarming 911 call near Davie and Denman Streets around 7 p.m. The man was yelling obscenities near a coffee shop patio when he allegedly grabbed and turned on his electric chainsaw and began walking towards the crowd at the coffee shop, the department said in a news release. Bystanders began to flee and no one was injured.
I bet they began to flee.
Police said they located the suspect blocks away at Beach Avenue and Burnaby Street within minutes of the 911 call. The British Columbia Prosecution Service has since approved a charge of possessing a weapon for a dangerous purpose against David Meadows.
They told him, don't ever do that again, eh?
Do you think they sent the Mounties on him?
Oh, yeah. Why wouldn't they?
Is that their only cops?
Rocky and Bullwinkle. Watch me pull this rabbit out of my head.
I don't know if that is. Aren't the Mounties like their highway patrol or something?
The county, the mounted police.
Yeah,
they're on horseback, aren't they? I thought I mean, maybe they're not.
They are. Some of them are on horseback.
I mean, we're talking about the Royal Canadian Mounted Police.
Yeah.
I guess originally they were on horseback, but they're like their state. I guess your point is they're like the Tennessee Highway Patrol. Most
Mounties do not ride horses.
Oh.
The Royal Canadian Mounted Police operates as a modern national police force that primarily uses motorized vehicles such as cars, SUVs, helicopters, and more to carry out its day-to-day duties.
What Ken said.
So they're state police, but they got jurisdiction over the whole country.
Yeah, makes sense. Makes sense. Have we done a story about nerds not bathing?
Not that I know.
The concert?
No, this is Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments.
Oh, no, I saw this, though, and it made me very ill.
It made me ill, too. That's why it is my Ninkapoop in the news. Jackson, as the younger generation on the Matt Murphy radio show, oftentimes it is left to you to describe to us older folk exactly what some of this stuff that we talk about is.
Oh, no.
What is a Yu-Gi-Oh tournament? Jackson?
No idea.
Give us your best guess.
I'm assuming it's like Pokemon.
That's what I thought, too. It's YU-GI-OH. Am I saying it correctly, Jackson? Yu-Gi-Oh?
Yu-Gi-Oh is how you say it.
Okay.
And I knew people who was into it.
Oh, did you know?
I personally have never. I know there was a show.
We try not to lie on the Matt Murphy show, Jackson.
I promise you.
Okay. You were into Pokemon.
I liked Pokemon, and I liked this thing called Bakugan because they were these little.
My brother was
toys.
Remember that Magic the Gathering thing?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, my brother was into that.
I don't know. You ever played
It's like-
Dungeons and Dragons? You struck me as a kid who might have.
Never played that. No, that was a bunch of nerds.
No, Murphy ain't gonna play Dungeons and Dragons.
I ain't got no time for it.
Or was that before your
It
time?
was not enough. You want to be? There weren't enough chicks. There's not enough chicks. There's a way to say this. There's a song out there from Flight of the Conchords that I'd love to quote right now. Do you know the song I'm talking about?
I don't know the song, but I know the band, and I love them.
It's too many bleeps on the dance floor, right? So there's just too many bleeps on the dance floor. So I will tell you, Jackson. I went to a D&D thing because you love D&D. Oh, D&D's cool. It's like my freshman year. And I went in, and it's just all nerds, all guys. And I'm like, are there any chicks that come to these things? And they're like, no. And I'm like, well, I'm out. There's too many D's on the dance floor.
So it's that's the bleep.
Yeah. Great song, by the way. Go look it up. Fly the Concord. Business time. It's business time.
It's business time.
Business time.
So Yu-Gi-Oh?
Anyway, thank you, Jackson. An independently owned card shop. Keep us on track there, Jackson. Independently owned card shop in Beaverton, Oregon, has suspended its Yu-Gi-Oh tournaments for a week after receiving multiple complaints and negative reviews about the players' poor hygiene. According to IGN Chronos Games and Gifts, they announced a temporary halt in a statement posted on their Discord channel saying they feared recurring issues with mistreating the restrooms, customers turning up in unclean condition.
What do you mean mistreating?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. The shop urged players to follow the official tournament guidelines, which include hygiene requirements and allowing attendees to report individuals who fail to comply. Konami introduced explicit hygiene rules in 2019, stating that all tournament participants and spectators had to be clean and wearing clean clothing. Chronos Games and Gifts' decision drew support from local players who say the move maintained a comfortable atmosphere in the venue. Similar reminders have surfaced in other communities. The Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament Guide notes that neglecting basic self-care can create an unpleasant environment, especially during long, crowded events.
Yes.
Take a shower.
The players may be asked to correct the issue to continue competing. That's a tough call when you got to tell your buddy that he stinks, smells like ASS. You know, you need to go You need to go stop what you're doing right now. I don't care where you are in the process. You need to take your fanny up to some place where there's water and there's soap and bathe yourself.
You need to go get some right guard.
Please, dear God.
Please, for the love of God.
Spray on the right guard.
Yes, or whatever you need to do. Get some of that Axe body spray and get that stench out of here. Speaking of stench, we have the stench of Jackson victories hanging over us, Ken.
Man, I don't know what we're going to do. I'm looking every day for great nincompoop stories, and Brother Jackson is one-upping it.
I had a good one. I think I had one of my all-time favorites this week, Wednesday.
Uh-huh. Which one was that?
The guy who cut his piece off and lit it on fire.
Yeah, that one.
How you going to beat that, Ken?
I don't know how you beat that, dude. I don't know.
That was just a question. If one of y'all had it, I was hosed.
How you going to...
I realized what I did. I answered the question.
How are you going to beat it? Well, you're not going to. It's on the ground.
You're a sick man, Matt Murphy.
Is it 7 o'clock yet?
6 o'clock on the dot. I'm Ken Weaver with your top stories. And all of Middle Tennessee under threat of severe weather and flash flooding today and the entire weekend. The highest risk of severe weather will be tomorrow. It'll be a level 2 out of 5 tomorrow for severe weather in Middle Tennessee. Got the full forecast and traffic coming up in 5 minutes. At least 31 states, including Tennessee, now reporting cases of this parasitic disease that health officials say leads to explosive diarrhea. It's called Cyclosporiasis, and it's not entirely clear what the root cause is, but health officials believe it may be linked to contaminated fresh produce or water. ABC News medical contributor Dr. Alok Patel has some tips to prevent illness.
This is just a general reminder, especially when it's hot outside and there are increased cases of food poisoning, is hand washing with soap and water is critical. So is wiping down all of your surfaces and utensils. You want to make sure that you are washing fruits and vegetables. Like I have an apple right here. I will wash this thing before I eat it. And you want to make sure that even if the bag says wash, you're still kind of cleaning those down and you're making sure you're only drinking treated clean sources of water.
The disease is treatable with antibiotics, but gone untreated, symptoms can last for weeks. By the way, this outbreak has at least one fast food chain, Taco Bell, pulling tomatoes, lettuce, cilantro, and raw onions from its menu in hard-hit Michigan, where there are more than 1,500 cases of this. President Trump not expected to veto a major bipartisan housing bill approved by Congress, according to a U.S. official. Although Trump says he won't sign the measure, it can still become law automatically if he takes no action before the deadline. The legislation aims to boost housing, construction that will lower costs, and it'll curb some purchases of single-family homes by large investors. Unless the president changes course and issues a veto, this bill is expected to take effect this weekend. The pretrial hearings in the case of Tyler Robinson have concluded in Utah today. Robinson accused of shooting and killing Charlie Kirk last year. Prosecutors presented evidence to the public and to the judge, including a video interview with Robinson's former partner and roommate. More from ABC News legal contributor Brian Buckmeyer.
There's a lot of evidence being presented that you don't necessarily need to prove their case at this threshold. Namely, I would talk about the video with Twig, Tyler Robbins, his romantic partner. We don't typically see those, but the prosecution is putting out a very strong case, I think not just for the judge, but also for the public to show what kind of evidence they have against Tyler Robinson.
So the judge says he will decide whether it goes to trial by September 1st. Cannabis mom videos go viral. A content creator and mom of two telling ABC News marijuana doesn't check her out of motherhood, but rather helps her to check in and quiet the static in her head, parenting her 3- and 5-year-old kids. Dr. Lee Fenno of Dell Medical School in Austin, Texas.
Yeah, someone is taking charge of the care of a young child or some children. They may need to engage in life-saving care, make emergency decisions, operate a motor vehicle safely, and the regular use of marijuana before engaging in those behaviors can impair your ability to do so.
That's the latest news. Traffic and weather next. I'm Ken Weaver, WTN News. All right, we got 2 crashes on 24 westbound in Clarksville. One is past ML King Parkway, the other one near Rossview Road. We've got one on 24 eastbound at Pleasant View. That's just past the Springfield-Ashland City exit 24. In the Gulch Division at 12th Avenue. South Nashville, Fessler's Lane at Elm Hill Pike. And then in Murfreesboro, 24 westbound near I-840. I'm Ken Weaver.
Super Talk 99.7 WTN. My name is Matt Murphy. We've reached the final hour of the Matt Murphy Show for this week. It's the 6 o'clock hour. We thank you for being out there. 7 past 6 to be precise. I failed in the 5 o'clock hour. We had a lot of things going on. We had guests in the first hour. We had Friday in the second hour. We had a guest in the third hour. And I failed to thank all of you weekend warriors. You know, the weekend is upon us. For many of you, your weekend has already started. But for some of you, you're working over the course of the weekend. Maybe you're a firefighter, a doctor, a nurse, an EMT. Maybe you're a police officer. Perhaps you work in the restaurant industry, customer service of some sort of fashion. Whatever you do, truck driver, whatever it might be, whatever you do, if you're working this weekend, we like to salute our weekend warriors and say thank you so much for everything that you do for our community that make those of us who have a day or two of rest and relaxation make our weekend so special. We say thank you to the weekend warriors and welcome to your weekend from Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Okay, so we're going to do, I want to get nominees. Jackson, we've got the Matt Murphy movie Mayhem coming up in the next half hour, right after the bottom of the hour news. And at that point, we're gonna post a poll for voting on the YouTube chat. And we need 4 nominees, 4 movie nominees for voting. Now, traditionally, Jackson has nominated a movie. I have nominated a movie. Ken has nominated a movie. And there's 3 nominees. But here's what I want to do. I want to put a category out on the table, and I want the listeners to nominate films that may or may not be promoted to the official poll at 6:30. Does that make sense? I think that's fair, right? And my category, Jackson, as long you're a part of this as I am. For those that don't know, Movie Mayhem, we select a film, we watch it over the weekend, and then we review it Monday at 6:35. It is a dip. We try to dip our feet into the beautiful cultural waters that is the United States of America. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Get away from the politics of the world. You know, just it's a nice palate cleanser at the end of the week. We did patriotic films last week. Watched Apollo 13, fabulous movie. You gave it, I think you gave it like 9.2 out of 11 Jacksons or something like that.
10 out of 11 Jacksons.
Oh, that's high praise coming from Jackson. Summer movies is the category for the nominating process. Nominate at 615-737-9986. Summer movies. Not summer blockbusters necessarily, but whatever you think of when I say summer movie, I want to hear from you. 615-737-9986. We'll take all of your suggestions under advisement. We'll get it down to 4, and then we'll vote on the movie that we'll be watching over the weekend coming up at 6:35 on Super Talk 99.7 WT. And in the meantime, a couple of matters to get to before I get to telephone calls. The Trump administration has given Iran until tomorrow to publicly commit to ending attacks on commercial shipping in the Strait of Hormuz or face, quote, unspecified consequences, end quote. Axios reported the administration wants Tehran to publicly acknowledge the strategic waterway is open, commit to stopping attacks on commercial vessels, and recognize all shipping lanes through the strait will remain open without tolls. The Iranian foreign minister, Great Googly Moogly, which is the word that I use when I can't pronounce people's names, is expected to meet Saturday with the Omani foreign minister, Great Googly Moogly number 2, as regional mediators work to ease tension and revive nuclear talks. One U.S. official said that if Iran does not make a public commitment, quote, it is not going to be a great day for them, end quote. The White House did not immediately respond to a request for comment from Fox News. So we're back in this. We are not dealing with honest people. We're not dealing with honest actors. Obviously, they don't really care what they say and how they say it, and they're not going to live up to any commitment that they make. And sadly, slowly but surely, we find ourselves up to our shins in sand that is Middle East politics when it comes to war footing in that region of the world. Once again, from the beginning, I was hopeful. I remain hopeful that there's some sort of avenue out of this that I can't foresee. We've not seen it yet. We're back into it because these are not honest people, and they're not going to tell us the truth. Donald Trump's strong suit is his ability to negotiate, and that is negated when he's sitting across the table from people that are known liars and terrorists. And that's the problem with this entire situation. It's a bad deal. And I'm fearful that it's just going to get worse and it's going to hurt us in the midterm election cycle if we allow it. So there's that going on. Closer to home, U.S. Senator Marsha Blackburn called a 667-page audit published this week by the Tennessee Comptroller deeply disturbing, highlighting more than $100 million in suspicious spending outlined by the investigators. According to Blackburn, the audit is deeply disturbing. She said this on the X machine. Instead of prioritizing our children, the Memphis Shelby County school system spent nearly $100 million on waste, fraud, and abuse. Matter of fact, they spent almost $50 million on janitorial services, apparently. Listen to this. The report identifies $54.2 million in expenditures consistent with evidence of potential fraud, waste, and abuse. More than $48 million of this figure was represented by payments made to one janitorial company, Service Master Clean, which was contracted to perform janitorial services for the entire metro school system, the Shelby County School District, Memphis Shelby County School District, in 2022. So they got $48 million in 1 year? Jackson. The Memphis Shelby County school system is large. I mean, it's huge. It is, as I think it's the biggest one in the state, either it or Nashville, but I want to say it's bigger than Metro Nashville. Jackson, if I gave you $24 million, I'm going to hand you $24 million. I should preface this by saying, Jackson, have you ever been involved in janitorial services as a profession?
No.
Okay. Have you ever run a company?
No.
You ever hired or fired anyone?
No.
If I gave you $24 million, do you think you could figure out how to do all of those things and get these schools clean?
Probably.
And you'd save us, well, half. $48 million. Emails included in the report reveal the decision to disregard the recommendation and award the contract to Service Master Clean. The company was announced by the district's former chief of business operations in an email sent at 5:57 in the p.m. on April 11, 2022. The email contained instructions to keep this information close to the vest for now. The report also noted that a former employee claimed during an internal audit that the contract's value had been inflated by as much as $4 million, intended to be diverted as kickbacks to a member of management and to an individual not employed by the district. But that their investigators were unable to independently determine the veracity of the claim because they lacked sufficient records. In addition to the more than $54 million identified as potential fraud, waste, and abuse in the Memphis Shelby County school systems, the report also identified $65.1 million in transactions where investigators determined, quote, evidence exists suggesting noncompliance with district policy and procedure as well as approximately $291,000 involving potential noncompliance with federal grant requirements. In other words, it is a mess in Memphis. It's long been a mess in Memphis. It's not going to clean itself up overnight. But the people that created this mess aren't going to clean it up either. And it's way beyond time that we got a different set of eyeballs on all of this and put people in jail that have been defrauding the public, the tax-paying citizen, for as long as they have, to the detriment of the school kids, right? If you're paying off your buddies to do janitorial stuff or non-janitorial stuff and you're wasting that money, that's money that could have gone into the classroom, not going into the classroom, going into somebody's pockets, and that needs to be investigated, and somebody needs to go to big boy prison. And that's what I have to say about that. David has something to say about diarrhea. Hello, David.
Hey, Matt. Hey. I tell you, I was throwing this joke around about this diarrhea stuff, but what you were just saying about the Memphis schools, is the state taking over the Memphis school system? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. And yes,
sorry.
that is currently in litigation. But the state has created a board, an appointed body that will take over the operational managerial duties of the Memphis Shelby County School District because they have been unable to do so in a way that is functional.
Well, they need to take over not just administrative managerial, but budgetary, everything else, and root it out. Like you got to pull that stuff out by the roots. And yeah, you're absolutely right. People got to go to jail. Otherwise, you end up with the same situation you got up in Minnesota, right? But I called in on this. I've been listening. I love Tim Weaver, and this is not a reflection on him or anything else, but on this diarrhea thing that's going on with the whatever it's called. And he keeps saying they haven't identified the root cause. I'll tell you the root cause. You got people doing their business, not washing their hands after, and then handling food. That's the root cause. They're going to spend probably $10 million trying to figure out the root cause. That's the root cause. People need to wash their hands. And after you do your business, unless you're at a Yu-Gi-Oh thing, wipe yourself and then wash your hands.
Yeah, well, that's fair. David, where are you on hand washing after going number one?
You absolutely wash your dang hands.
Mm-hmm. Are you, David? Are you peeing on your hands?
Well, it don't matter. You're touching your junk. If you touch your junk, wash your hands.
I wash my junk. Thank you.
But even after. Don't here's the thing, right?
Hold on, wait. All right, go ahead. Go. You go first. You go first.
Let's just say that in some far-flung future, you invite me over to your house, and I'm over there, and you said, "Hey, would you like a sandwich?" And I said, "My gosh, a sandwich would be very good." And you say, "I'll make you a sandwich." I'm going to remember this conversation, and I'm going to say, "You know what, Matt? I'll make my own sandwich."
So
you got to wash your hands.
I understand if you're handling food. No, I don't disagree with that. If you're handling food, you got to wash your hands. I agree.
But the other thing is, all right. So
I am anti. By the way, I am anti public peer pressure in the must wash your hand after every number one bathroom visit. I'm anti that. I think it's ridiculous. I think it's absurd, David, because my junk is clean. Thank you very much. Everything on my body's clean, and I don't.
Well, here's the thing. I've even been here. This is the kind of dude I am. I was at an Applebee's, and some dude comes in.
Applebee's has rats. I'm
kidding. Over there washing. I did my business, and I'm number one, and I'm washing my hands. And this dude was walking by, and I turned around and I said, "You ain't gonna wash them hands?"
What, you getting into somebody? Well, hold on a second. Now, tell me that. Wait a minute, David. I was only half listening. Yeah. So you're in an Applebee's, and by the way, I was just kidding about the Applebee's has rats. That was from Ricky Bobby. Okay, so you're in an Applebee's. You're in the bathroom in the Applebee's.
Yes.
And some dude that you didn't know went to the bathroom.
Yes.
And They start walking out. They go number one?
Number one.
And you said to a grown man, you're not going to wash your hands?
Yes, I did.
And what did
I'm a big old fella.
And what did he say to you?
He just kept walking. I mean, if you're that musty, you just gonna keep.
You know
going
what I would have said to you?
What?
Well, I didn't pee on him.
But you get my point, though, right?
Well, I suppose I do. Yes.
This is important stuff to be talking about. I know we get.
Well, I mean, I agree. I mean, no, I believe that we need to build up our immune systems, David. I think we wash our hands too damn much. How about that?
And then the other thing. All right, the other thing, they say they can't figure this out. So what is it? It's onions, lettuce, tomatoes. Where are those coming from?
Onions, lettuce, tomatoes. The produce section.
Right. Well, no, but I mean, we're importing it. It's coming from Mexico.
Sure.
A good chunk of it, anyway. We keep having these same problems because they're out there picking it, and they do the business, and they keep on picking. And then, all I got to say, folks, remember to wash your hands. Use soap. Don't just sprinkle water on them. Use soap. Wash your hands. Count to 20 while you're washing your hands.
Build up your immune system. Don't wash your hands. Don't listen to David. Don't listen to David.
But I'm right. Hey, we got to get that mess in.
If you don't have that immunity system working in overdrive, man, it's just going to get lazy. It's going to get all meh. It's going to be laying around doing it. I mean, imagine your immune system's there because the soap's taking care of everything. Antibacterial gel's taking care of everything. And your immune system's laid back, man. This is what happened during COVID. Immune system's like, what ifs? They got this covered. And then when something serious comes along, they're so dang lazy, fat and lazy, your immune system's so fat and lazy, can't do anything about it. Our good friend Dusty Slay has a great bit about hand washing. The level of peer pressure that is involved in something that is a very private deal. And look, I don't go to the bathroom on my hands. But there's so much peer pressure. And I watch people do it. I watch in the bathroom. If you go to a public bathroom, watch as people will go out and they'll go and wash their hands. They'll give a pass underneath the water just because they feel like other people are watching them and they have to. They don't mean it.
Just wash your hands.
What are you talking about, Jackson? Have you been listening to the show over the last 5 minutes or no?
Yes.
Immune system, baby. Don't pee on your hands.
It's gross.
What do you mean it's gross?
The bathroom is gross.
I'm clean. I don't touch anything in there.
I think it's fine if you're doing it at your home bathroom, but if you're out in public, wash your hands.
Now, I understand if you go into a gross bathroom situation that you need to, I mean, that's a public
restroom, you wash your hands.
That's a one-off situation. But
if you're in your own home, do whatever you want.
If you're in my home, you should wash your hands too.
Yes.
I'd appreciate that. 24 after the hour, Super Talk 99.7 WTN. Hello, folks. Matt Murphy here for the one and only Glock store. It is never too early to make plans regarding the Glock store and some of the incredible things that they've got going on over there. As a matter of fact, they've got something happening a little bit later on. Well, it's early next month that I want to tell you all about. It's a big deal at the Glock store. And as soon as I find it, I'm going to tell you about it. The Glock store's got an event coming up August. I don't have it in front of me. It's early August. You can find out more at glockstore.com. That's glockstore.com. They've got folks coming in from all over our area. Hold on. Let me find this. The Glock store is the one and only shop. Oh, here it is. Glock store is the one and only shop where you can find all things Glocks. I mean, every Glock is in stock at the Glock store. And I finally found it. It's the Osite event. Exclusive access and limited availability Friday, August 7th. That's the day that I was thinking about. Check-in is 9 a.m. to 11:30. The event starts at noon. A meet and greet and a photo shoot with featured guests like Short Shot Tony, which is a great guy. Go watch Short Shot Tony. Funny guy, YouTube sensation. He's going to be in town. Justine Williams is going to be in town as well. USPSA's youngest grandmaster, 24 national championships and 8 world records. First look at pre-release O-Sight optics, hands-on range time with great guns and O-Sight optics, expert instruction with tips and tactics, expert instruction on red dot installation. Plus, you're going to get a gift bag worth over $2,000, including a new O-Sight optic. That's what it's all about, folks. You sign up at glockstore.com/VIP, glockstore.com/VIP, and that's just one day. On Saturday, August 8th, they're there from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. with hands-on range time with the new O-Sight optics as well. Find out more at glockstore.com. That's glockstore.com about these wonderful events happening early August. And tell them Matt Murphy sent you to the one and only Glock Store. I'm excited to get JK and Erica Brister out to the house through U.S. Pest. Now, JK might not be out. Well, I don't know. Maybe JK will come down to the house and say hello to me. One way or the other, one of the qualified techs from U.S. Pest will be there. They are growing by leaps and bounds because they're simply the best in the business when it comes to pest control on your property and in your home. Now, let's talk on your property. Flea and tick treatments are available for your property. If you've noticed that the dogs and the cats or the animals, or maybe even you yourself, I had a tick on me recently. If you yourself have a tick issue in the yard or on your property, you need to solve it with a tick and flea treatment from U.S. Pest. Plus, inside the home, whether it's spiders or ladybugs, stink bugs, silverfish, roaches, these are animals that want what's yours. They want your cool conditions. They want to get into the walls. They want to enjoy your food, and they don't want to pay for anything. And that's where you have to put a line in the sand, baby, and that comes with U.S. Pest. U.S. Pest is the best when it comes to regular pest control. A free pest and termite inspection is available for you. All you need to do is call. Never any high-pressure sales tactics. They're just going to tell you what's going on inside of your walls and what you need to do to solve it. USPest.com. That's USPest.com, or call 590-1260. 590-1260 for our friends at U.S. Pest. A lot of things Americans are split 50-50 on. Politics, maybe so. Working from home or the office, maybe so. Pepsi, Coca-Cola, maybe so. But one thing we all agree on, and that is taking your car in for repairs can be frustrating and complicated and confusing. Repairs only as good as the person under the hood, and most of the problems in fixing your vehicle is not a we're trying to rip you off issue. It's a knowledge issue. A lot of techs are not properly trained, so they end up guessing what to do. That causes delays in getting your vehicle back and repeat visits for the same issue. At Eurofix, you don't have to deal with any of this. They do it differently there. Every visit starts with a free 15-minute no-wrench inspection. You know what's going on before we start the work in Eurofix. Pay their technicians more than any company that in order to attract the best and the brightest. It's as simple as that. They get the best, and you have the best working on your automobile. They fix everything European at below dealer pricing. They have a 3-year, 36,000-mile nationwide warranty on all work that they perform. Locally owned, family run, 5 separate locations. Call or book online at myyurofix.com. That's myyurofix.com or 844-EUROFIX. Oh, boy. I don't know that we've had a response recently on the super text line like we've had with my hot take on bathroom visits.
Wash your hands, people.
Build up your immune system. Hand washing destroys your immune system if it's unnecessary. You don't need to wash your hands every second of every day. That's my take on it. And I know where my hands have been, and I know where the rest of my body's been. And if I touch something that I believe is infected, diseased, dirty, nasty, germy, and by the way, I'm a germaphobe, but I'll wash my hands then. I wash my hands based on exterior circumstances, not my own person.
I'm going to cough in your coffee.
I don't drink coffee. Don't cough in someone else's coffee and think it's mine. How dare you? Poor Dan Mandis.
No, that's the tea.
Oh, that's right. Mandis does the
throat coat.
Slippery elm. Matt, would you want to put your money where your mouth is and stick the doorknob at the doctor's office to build a lick? Oh, lick. No, I'm not licking that. What are you talking about? I'm not an idiot. I'm not a germy type guy. I'm telling you the truth. We are not allowing our immune systems to take care of things naturally in the right way. I'm being dead serious about that. We're going to get to Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem in a moment. Mike is in Old Hickory. Hey, Mike.
How you doing, Matt?
Mike, I'm great. I hope you are.
Yeah, it's the end of your program, and I'm glad you kept me on because we're going to the polls in 3 months, and we're going to be electing one of two things, communists or freedom. And that's really what it boils down to. So if people want to listen to all that other nonsense, peeing and this and that, and, washing your hands, that's fine. We're going to the polls in 3 months.
Four.
People need to understand.
I think it's 4. I think it's 4. I'm just helping you. It's 4. July to August, August to September, September to October, October to November.
Yeah.
4.
Which means is that we've got two choices.
Yeah.
Communists or freedom.
Mm-hmm.
And then you think about that. And then I'm going to give you, because you had something earlier in your program, the best summer movie to go see.
Yeah. Help me out here, Mike.
Jaws.
Jaws?
Jaws.
Yeah, Jaws is good. I was going to bring this up. I was going to nominate this, yeah. I don't know if Jackson has seen Jaws. Jackson says
Jackson was too young. He wasn't even born. If Jackson will take his girlfriend and watch the movie Jaws, she'll jump out of her seat.
Jump right into his lap. His very clean lap with his clean hands.
But anyway, that is a great summer movie.
Well, Mike, thank you for the call. I appreciate you. 4 months, we go to the general election, less than a month away from the primary election. So here are some of the nominations that we've had for, you know what? We should just go ahead and, play some Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem. New theme. That's right. It's time for Matt Murphy Movie Mayhem, where Matt and Jackson select a film and then watch it and then report back on Monday.
You like the crescendo there?
I do. I feel it. I felt it. I felt it in my loins, my very clean loins. So I feel like I have to defend my loins because people are coming at me, bro, and I figured that they would. So I have a couple of nominations that are of interest to me. Jackson, you get to pick one. I'm going to pick one myself, and then some will come from the general audience. Jackson, what is your film that you're placing on the nominees list for the YouTube chatters to vote on?
You go first.
Stand By Me.
I have not seen that movie.
Stand By Me is my summer film that I'm choosing. Fabulous film directed by Rob Reiner, but that is beside the point. Stephen King wrote the original premise. It was called The Body, and then it was changed to Stand By Me. Great movie about, you'll love this, with Tyler getting married off, your best buddy. It's a buddy flick. The friends I made at the age of 12 were the best friends in the world. I forget the exact line at the end of the movie, but it's a fabulous line. Anyway, Stand By Me is my film. Jackson, what's yours?
When I think of summer blockbusters, you know what I think of?
That's just summer movies, but anyway, go ahead.
When I think of movies in the summer, I think of big summer blockbusters.
Okay.
And my favorite one that you have seen, but I think you need to give another chance to, because you told me you didn't like it. It's the 2024 movie Twisters.
The reboot of the...
Oh, seeing this movie
Can
in the
we just
theaters,
do the original?
I have seen the original.
Okay.
I love the original.
Mm.
I love both of these movies.
Okay.
But I think you need to give this movie another shot.
All right. I
also think Stand By Me is going to win, and I don't want to waste my other suggestion.
Well, it might. It might
if I'm
not.
going to do a throwaway one, I'm at least going to do one I've already seen.
Some of the other suggestions, and this one has come in enough that I think it I've seen The Sandlot
I've seen bits and pieces.
Okay, well, throw the Sandlot in there because enough people have suggested the Sandlot. And then this one is very interesting. I've not seen this one it's been a hot minute. But I love 4615's suggestion. And so this is going to be the fourth film. Have you seen the movie Point Break? It's actually a good movie. I remember it being a good movie, but I haven't seen it in 20 years.
Haven't seen it.
Patrick Swayze, Keanu Reeves. It's a bank robber kind of thriller thing. There's a cop involved. There's robbers involved. So Point Break is the fourth movie. So Sandlot, Point Break, Stand By Me, and Twisters. Those are our four nominees. Vote early, vote often on the other on the old YouTube chat line. Go over there to YouTube and look us up, Supertalk 99.7 WTN and the Matt Murphy Show, and you can vote on one of those four films, and we'll get to which one won coming up in just a moment. Kim wants to talk about hand washing. Hello, Kim.
Hey, Matt, I just wanted to tell you I totally agree with you. You will not build up your immune system if you don't get a few germs here and there.
Every once in a while. That's right, isn't it?
Yep. You got it.
Well, Kim, and me and you, from your lips to God's ears, we need a little germs in our lives to make sure that the immune system understands what to do when they have to combat something. Double R is next. Hello, Double R. Hello, is it double R? Is it double R, double K? I'm reading this wrong?
You're good, man.
What's up, brother?
Formerly nosy neighbor from down here in Birmingham.
What's up, buddy?
We miss you, man.
Miss you too.
Just a funny story. When I was in college, I was in a community bathroom, kind of, a men's room with several urinals, and a buddy of mine from Georgia was in there, and then there was a guy from up north, and so my buddy from Georgia's name was Lee, and he got done, going to the bathroom at the urinal, and he started to walk out, and the guy from up north, a.k.a. Yankee, said, "What's up, Lee? They don't teach y'all how to wash your hands in the South?" And he said, "No. My mama taught me not to peel my hands when I go to the bathroom."
Mm-hmm. That's what I always tell them. That's what I always tell them.
Just wanted to share that.
I know. Well, no, it's the truth, brother. And for those of you going, well, it's the bathrooms that are nasty. Well, I'll deal with that on a case-by-case basis. Thank you very much. I stand by this. Once again, I maintain our good buddy Dusty Slay, who comes on the show from time to time, he's getting too big for us now. He's out and about. He's running around. He's touring. He's doing all these types of things. He has the best take on this of all time. You can go find it on the YouTubes or Twitters or Twitches or wherever you get your entertainment on your smartphone device. But if you find it, it's out there, and it's hilarious, his take on hand washing and the peer pressure involved in hand washing. 615-737-9986, 615-737-9986. Antibacterial soaps, not to mention being toxic, weaken the immune system, as does excessive hand washing. You should wash with plain soap and water when your hands have potentially come into contact with dangerous bacteria, which you'll usually not see or know. I only skip washing my hands if I successfully complete number one without touching the urinal or urine or the flush handle, and if no one is there to observe and judge me. See, that's the end part that annoys me. That people think you're doing, something nasty. A lot of peer pressure in this life. I don't need it. I don't have to abide by your societal conventions to get along in my life. Thank you very much. I'm just fine. Zane wants to talk about elections. Hey, Zane, how are you?
I'm good, man. How are you?
I'm well. Thank you for calling.
Listen, this has been eating me up for several days here now. I'm watching the news, all these socialists that are getting elected, right? Now, I want to know whether it's state or a federal, you have to take an oath to uphold the Constitution. Now, are these people going to take that oath when they actually get elected? And if they do and don't uphold that oath, is that not treason?
Well, the second part of your question is up for a court and a jury to decide. Right.
You bet.
I mean, and treason is a loaded word, and treason means different things to different people. So set that aside for a moment. Yes, I mean, there's an expectation that if you are elected to state or federal office, that you will swear on your honor or on the Bible or in the sight of God, or, you will make a solemn oath and vow to uphold the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies,
correct.
foreign and domestic.
Now, okay, so whether it's a state constitution, and show me a state constitution or a federal, well, our federal constitution is what it is. If you're in Congress, if you're getting elected into the Congress and you take that oath, but you're out there before you get elected and you're already going, look, man, I want this socialist agenda to pass. I want my socialist agenda to pass. How can you, in good faith, take that oath at all? That is my question. This has been eating me up for days. I wanted to get
because you're dealing with people that aren't honest actors. So the real answer to your question is they'll play dumb, right? They'll play stupid. And what I like to say is, do not play stupid with me, for it is a game that you shall not win. So they'll play dumb, and they'll say, well, no, I believe I am upholding the Constitution. I just look at things differently. I think I want to open it up for all people. They'll start getting into the weeds on it in terms of what their position is and how they would suggest to you that their position upholds the concepts of the Constitution. And they all know better. They all know that they want to tear it down and build it back up into a socialistic state. All of these new ones, they're saying it out loud.
That's what I'm getting at. So anybody with a brain goes, okay, we know what their agenda, we know what they want, we know what they want to do. They want to turn us into a socialist country. That in itself is not upholding any constitution, period. So how can, if they go up and put their hand on that Bible and go, no, I can't uphold this Constitution, then you are disqualified on the spot. But if they do that and then go in and go, we're going to change this law to, we want all businesses to be government controlled, and then they are not upholding the Constitution. They're not upholding capitalism. They're not. So my point is, I guess, Matt, is nobody is saying this. Nobody I have heard in the last 3 months. Your suggestion is that the remedy is to accuse them of treason. Well, sure.
Okay, and I mean, treason has a definition, and I just looked it up. I didn't know it off the top of my head. Article 3, Section 3. Treason is defined constitutionally as levying war against the U.S. or adhering to its enemies by giving them aid and comfort.
I agree with that.
I mean, okay, I do too.
So by that definition, if they are taking an oath to uphold the Constitution, the second part, not so much about aid, but I just learned today that they are talking to China, yada yada, but they're not upholding the Constitution if they're trying to change it. It's that simple to me.
Well, it depends on how they're trying to change it. The Constitution has I'm not arguing with you, but I'm suggesting that the best way to push back against these socialist communists is to expose them prior to them getting elected. Prior to, you know what I mean? Okay. I don't think it's an effective way to go after the communists that have been elected by demanding that they get tried for treason.
Okay,
I just don't find
it there. My point is I don't have the venue, and it seems like I'm the only one that has come to this conclusion. I'm calling you because you have a bigger venue. You have a bigger audience to go. You know what? I mean, I don't think I'm wrong. Now, I'm not saying they should all be tried for treason or anything else. I don't think they should be in the election process at all.
I get it.
So. But my point is this has been eating me up.
Your point's well taken. I mean, Zane, your point, at least as I understand it, Your point is well taken. That you
And I
have
think
you have
do.
you have groups of people that have no respect for the Constitution of the United States of America and have clearly spoken their desire to work around it or to change it wholesale. And they're putting their hands on a book that they don't believe in, and they're swearing that they're going to uphold the very Constitution that they want to destroy. It's very frustrating.
Amen, sir.
It's
Thank
very well, and I get it, and I would suggest the best way to combat that is with information, education, knowledge on the front end to prevent them getting elected to begin with. 53 after the hour on Super Talk 99.7 WTN. You know, over the weekend, take a look at your kitchen. Do you know, or do you think about the kitchen as the heartbeat of the home, the heart of the home, truly? And it really is. I mean, the kitchen's where all the action happens, right? Some of your best memories, I bet, are, cooking in the kitchen with family members or whatever it might be. Are you dissatisfied with what you have going on in your kitchen right now? Are you frustrated because you just had the holiday come and go and you had a bunch of people over and you're like, oh boy, my kitchen sucks, my bathroom sucks? I've got the answer, and it comes in the form of new cabinets, a new kitchen from Timberland Cabinets. Founded in Middle Tennessee in 2005, a strong reputation, specializing in high-quality kitchen and bathroom cabinetry at a reasonable price. It's what they do. They are a hidden gem no longer because I've been telling everybody about them. So here's the deal. I mean, it's almost 7 o'clock on a Friday. Write this number down or go ahead and call and leave a message, and they'll get back to you bright and early Monday morning. And they will get you to their showroom in Columbia, get you to their showroom in Franklin, show you what they have to offer, and you can begin the process of never again having to worry about a holiday with that kitchen quality that you don't like any longer. You'll get the high-quality Timberland guarantee. Go to TimberlandCabinets.com, TimberlandCabinets.com, or 931-499-7170, 931-499-7170. For Timberland Cabinets.
Hey, it's Dan Mandis from Super Talk 99.7 WTN and Nashville's Morning News. I'm here with Chris from USS, United Structural Systems. He's checking out my basement, my foundation, my crawl space to see if there's anything wrong. Fingers crossed. All right, so there's good news and there's bad news. The bad news is we found some cracks in my basement wall. The good news, I've got Chris here who's going to walk me through the next steps.
Yes, so unfortunately, your house has been subject to the pressure of the dirt. The hydrostatic pressure, heavy dirt pushes on foundation walls, and you've got a little bit of what we call bowing. So that wall is pushed in a little bit. We have a lifetime warranty solution for that. So we install, usually in a day or two, this can be done in most situations. We install carbon fiber straps, which keep the wall from moving inward at any point in the future. It's a lifetime warranty for anybody that ever owns this house. So it's a quick and routine thing that we do, but it yields some long-lasting benefits.
It's a great selling point if you want to sell your house.
Absolutely. Good thing about our warranties is they're not only transferable, like the contract says, they're automatically transferred when you sell your house. So you don't have to sign any paperwork or even send us an email saying that you sold your house. Warranty would transfer to the next owner.
All right, just about a minute left to go. Let's see. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Matt, you look down at a urinal and you look at the wet floor you stand on. Do you think that's what? I know I don't know what it is, but I'm not getting into all of that.
Results are in.
Results are in.
Stand by me.
Well, goodness gracious. Can I not make the announcement?
We have 20 seconds.
Twisters came in fourth at 8%. Point Break and The Sandlot tied at 26%. Stand By Me at 40%. You'll like this movie, Jackson.
I'm excited.
We'll give you some. We're going to revamp the reveal. I'll give you some fun facts for the film. I'll tell you a little about the making of Stand By Me and give you our reviews coming up on Monday. Until then, have a wonderful weekend, folks. Matt Murphy speaking and saying, hug your loved ones. So long, everybody.